so that...
Blake! I thought we were cool,
We're trying
Blake!
to record a podcast here, dude.
Oh, it's in the shop, Blake!
I thought
Maybe you
this
should
was
have got it earlier!
Yeah.
Jeepers Creepers!
That's your beer.
We're rolling? All right.
Good.
Awesome. Welcome back to another awesome episode of the Dingbat District podcast. I cannot wait for this one to come on and start and get ready. So y'all get ready for our brand new guest, first time on the episode or on the show. Y'all give it up for Kristopher Barton. Kristopher with a K.
Yes, it's Kristopher with a K. That is my stage name. Thank you
Awesome.
to my mother for making my name difficult to be spelled ever.
Yeah, because my dad's also a Kristopher, and they also always messed up Chris, they called him Christoph a lot. Like, he gets
really?
that in the mail. Like, he's always Christoph, like he's a German man.
With just the E?
Yeah.
Like Christoph!
Yeah,
'cause
like,
there's no
I
room
guess
for
they
the
just,
R.
I think that's what it is. They just ran out of room, so
like-
he's just a different person now.
Yeah, it's like 10 letters. I mean, I learned the alphabet like right in in school, like real fast because like 10 letters is my name. And like I was like stubborn. I was like, no, we're gonna spell the whole thing out. That's what my parents taught me. So it wasn't until high school I was like, oh, I could go K-R-I-S. Like, oh, that saves so much time.
That's so funny. So, thank you so much for coming on today. I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I've been dying to ask you, or really anyone, because these are just common questions. But I think I'm going to come back to a question I haven't done in a while on the podcast. But what is your biggest irrational fear?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know.
See, okay, so just to give you a little time, mine, when I brought this to the show, was rats. It's kind of not necessarily irrational, but it was irrational in how that I got it. I had a field mouse that had got into my old college apartment, and I just saw the little droppings, and I just immediately, like, that's a big-ass Subway NYC rat. Like, that was my first immediate thought, and then I lost my damn mind. Like, I went and got, well, maybe I shouldn't say that, but I found out I probably... I took a Xanax thinking it would calm me down, and then it just, like, it made me normal. And I was like, oh, man, I think I just need Xanax.
The whole time. Oh, yeah. No, actually, I do have one. Nobody's ever really asked, but like I'm always afraid I'm going to go to jail. Like, I'm afraid I'm going to get arrested, something's going to happen, that I'm going to be stuck, like, for the rest of my life in jail.
Is it more wrongful, or just, like, you even did something this time and you got caught on it?
I think it's more I'm going to snap. Like, did you ever watch the TV show Snapped? I mean, I know how people get murdered.
So it's funny that you said that, because last night someone brought up to me that there are 35 seasons of that show and something like 700 episodes of just husbands getting killed. But no, I get that, because I used to have to deal with snapping and like that. But okay, so that being said, what sets you off to snap?
Oh my God, it could be anything. Traffic. Like, I can be in traffic and just like, why are people not going? It's like the speed limit is 70. Why are you doing 40? Like, that freaks me out.
Oh man, I like, especially DFW, and recently now they're just doing all the construction of all time that they've been needing to do for 35 years. But I saw someone put it in reverse on the highway, and I looked in here, I'm like, I am so glad I do not have a gun.
Same. I would blow out tires. Like,
I know.
can't.
I would become such a good shot. Like, just out of nowhere, like, you know what? You're going to stick right here for now, because now you got 3 tires.
It's either going to be that, or I'm going to go get a gun. I'm going to go to Burger King, because this is going to happen all the time. I always ask whenever I order, like, can I get some zesty sauce for my fries? If you haven't tried it, you should. It's delicious. And I feel like if I ever do get a gun, I'm going to snap, because I'm going to go and be like, hey, where's my zesty sauce? They're going to be like, oh, it's 70 cents. No, you should have charged me before. And then I'm going to pull out the gun and be like, hey, where's my zesty sauce? And then I'm going to get arrested.
You're going to have to get a little zesty. Are you going to be wearing that blazer when you do it?
Yes, I sleep in this. What are you talking about? I like to sparkle all the time.
You're not the rhinestone cowboy, dude. You're the rhinestone bandit.
But no, it's got to be something gay.
Now
so like the rhinestone.
It's rhinestones. That's kind of gay.
Hey, now somebody straight has probably worn. Okay, yeah, you're right.
I only know rhinestones because my mom tried to put me in rhinestone stuff. I'm like, Mom, this is.
What,
I swear I like girl. I think she really wanted like 2 girls. Like, she got 1 girl at the end, but I think she really just wanted 2 girls in the end.
Was she just like praying though that you could have been a gay boy? Like, please just let him want to be a little gay. No?
That would be fun for her, because she got her mini me now, but I feel like if she would have had 2 little girls as an army to just follow her around, because we weren't latchkey kids, we were follow mom around kids.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, like we would go to the nail salon, we'd go to the hair salon, we'd go shopping, this, that, the other. So we just eventually. I wasn't raised by a single mom, but I've got single mom energy. Like, do you ever listen to Dan Soder?
No.
Dan Soder's very funny. He had a bit where He's like, I have a single mom because after about 45 minutes into an argument, you can just see that there are single mom energy vibes where I'm like, no, that is not what happened. It's just the single mom energy starts coming out.
See, I didn't have that because I did have, like, my parents weren't divorced, but they were disabled, so we lived in a trailer park, so we were very much like Children of the Corn people. Like,
Really? Can we talk about that? What happened?
yeah, like literally, my dad crushed his leg offshore, and my mom had a lot of mental disorders like schizophrenia and bipolar, which I got some of that. Yay me! Which
It's
helps
always
with
fun.
comedy.
Isn't
I
it
know.
fun to see, like, you start piecing things and like, okay, you had this and you had this and I have both of those. All right, so thank you for getting together and giving me that.
Yeah, like thank you. Just what I needed to be. It was more fucked up,
Y'all
than which
didn't
I am.
think to come together with a checklist and see what you might pass on?
Yeah, which being the bipolar is the reason why I'm so afraid I'm going to get arrested for snapping because like it's like two things that go up inside this brain.
I was
so...
going to say, because you seem really calm and fun right now.
Oh,
But,
that's
you
because
know.
I'm half asleep still. I'm trying to wake up.
Right. Fair enough.
I'm trying to wake up.
We need
Yep.
our Dr. Pepper. So Christopher and I were talking about this beforehand, but I was just raving about how I had a strawberries and cream Dr. Pepper's zero sugar and how delicious it was, Blake.
Oh,
Is
zero
that an
sugar?
ad? Are we trying to get Dr. Pepper to sponsor us?
Dude, I'll go back, like what Thomas said on episode 11, I'll go back to Fat Paxton if we get sponsored by Dr. Pepper's strawberries and cream. This is
Okay.
so good.
Well, then I got to get a cut of that because I brought it. Okay, can I have that contract back?
No, okay. We'll edit the contract. If we
Thank
get
you.
10%, you'll get 2 of it.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll hey, whatever at this point.
It's on camera, so it's legally binded.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
No,
Well,
it's on
this-
camera that we
this part-
agreed
yeah,
to.
okay.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, I signed that on. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh, I'd only had zero sugar because I was a fat little kid at heart. But oh my Jesus Christ, that is maybe the greatest thing I've ever had.
Have you ever had the cream one?
No, it's too much.
Too much?
Here, come try this. Come hither.
Okay, but you have to know. I think it tastes like those church candies that are strawberry, the one that you don't know where you buy them at, they just appear. You know
Yes,
what I'm talking about?
those are some of my favorite candies. They just
Does it
appear
not
candy.
feel though? Like, yeah, that like they soaked that in every single bottle, just one candy. It tastes like that. That's
It
what I think.
does, and I think I'm in love with it.
It's very good.
That's
Thank you
another
for recommending it.
Of course. That's actually another reoccurring question that comes up because I'm such a fat little boy at heart still. What is your go-to sweet treat?
It's ice cream.
Ice cream. Thank you. Everyone that says anything else is just wrong. I know that's subjective, but you're subjectively wrong.
But
Mine's
it's
not ice
specific. It has to be the Nestle Crunch cones, that have the chocolate on it, and then like once you eat the chocolate ice cream and everything, and then at the bottom it has the cone, but they have like all the hard chocolate
So
under
you're
there.
an OG. You're
it's
an
so
original
good.
gangster.
Yeah. I
man.
like to just call it the OG Olive Garden, but
That was the
There you go.
no matter what it is, it's just the OG Olive Garden.
that was the ones you used to get in like elementary and middle school. Like
Yeah.
you get it was like the
When times were fun and
Yeah.
ice cream wasn't just like, you needed something good.
Yeah.
You were
Delicious.
already happy, and then it was just a little sprinkling on top. You just
Yeah,
got that little
happiness.
Nestle Crunch cone. Should have went and bought ice cream. I'm trying so hard to quit, and it's now, especially that I have this, I want a root beer or a Dr. Pepper float so bad.
Well, I give in if I get like depressed or something bad happens in life. I'm like, I need ice cream. Like last night, I had a really bad trip, so I was like, Kroger's right around the corner. I went and got a box. There's 8 of them in the box. There's only 4 left. Yeah, I ate 4 last night.
I was telling someone the other day that like I need individually packaged things, and usually I need one at a time because if you give me a gallon of ice cream, that's the container. Like I'll finish it.
Sit down like
Yeah.
with a big spoon. Like
And-
I need a big bite.
In 2 movies, you start one and then the sequel after, and like that's all you need.
yeah,
Oh God, it's so bad. I did it with butter pecan too. That's one of my least favorite flavors.
I was about to say.
I was just so high. And I needed something. And ice cream it has no filling factor whatsoever.
I don't even know what kind of weed I would have to smoke to get butter pecan craving. I don't think I would ever.
It wasn't
ever
a
get-
butter pecan craving. That was the thing. That was what was in the icebox.
I'm so glad you said icebox.
I know it comes out every once in a
I
while.
say that too. I think that's so like white trash of me to be like, it's in the icebox, because that's what my parents used to call
Well,
it.
because it's refrigerator and icebox.
Thank
Like,
you.
And I don't know how I got Philly trash, but apparently only Philly people say refrigerator instead of refrigerator or fridge.
I say refrigerator too.
Really? Okay,
Is
so we're
that-
Philly trash.
Oh, we are.
Are you guys like cousins?
Wow.
Like distant cousins or something?
Whatever.
Maybe not
trailer
too
parks-
distant. I don't know.
Like
Wait.
second cousins, maybe?
I thought you said sucking cousins, and I'm like, well, I mean, if you want to suck, I was.
Like we were talking about earlier, Blake, that might have to be a Patreon thing because we need some fucking money.
Some OnlyFans. I'm here for it.
I know, man. I pay you as much money as you deserve, but Jesus H, it's starting to cut. I've been saving all year for the property taxes next year, and I'm still budgeting. Like, it's bad. I'm screwed. I'm so screwed.
Hey, we got the nice cameras. You know, we got the nice.
Yeah, are we
lighting
gonna have to
setup.
hawk those to pawn when I can't pay for the property taxes? We're like, we need money. That's good. God,
Good stuff.
oh, Christopher, you're a saint for that.
Well, if I had known you need it sugar free though, I would have been.
No,
a little bit better,
I
but-
bought a case of sugar free, along with regular Dr Pepper in case we need to restock for you because I know
you.
this might not be what your fix is.
It's not, but I do love Dr Pepper, and so right now I'm sober, so I'm not drinking alcohol, which has become quite interesting.
Did you go from booze to immediately needing sugary things?
No, I was always I had an issue with sugar. I still
Okay.
do. And diabetes runs really, really bad in my family. Like all of my sisters, not all my sisters, all my mom's sisters all died of diabetes.
Oh,
And there were
wow.
5 of them. Yeah.
Oh my God!
Diabetes took them out. Like diabetes
Jesus
is
Christ!
scary.
The statistics on that is an
I know,
anomaly. Like
but here
there
I
wasn't
am.
one that couldn't have just gotten hit by a bus. They all had to go.
all the diabetes got them. Diabetes. Like how much sugar is in that?
Oh, dude, I know a regular can is 6 glazed donuts worth of sugar. Holy shit. 129% of our daily intake. It's got 65 added grams of sugar.
Holy.
Well,
Yeah,
if
it
you lose
hurts.
a toe or a foot, hey, it was worth it.
I know. I was telling Peyton on another episode where it started to get bad there for a little bit where I kept having my sweet treats because I was in a weird place and I'd just eat a cupcake and my foot would go to sleep and I'd lay down in bed. And I was like, this is scary. I'm going to fall asleep before this is something I have to call a doctor about.
So another thing that I love that's sweet is I'm obsessed with M&Ms.
Really? Okay, a specific one?
I love plain because basically
Okay,
that.
okay.
But I love them frozen.
Oh,
Ooh, that's interesting.
I like to freeze them and then put them in a cup and then put them next to my bed. And then, as I'm falling asleep, which I'm going to choke to death doing this, is I like to put them in my mouth and suck on them.
And wake up 30 minutes later when they're thawed out and finally eat
Yes.
them.
I like that. And then I'm like, so yeah, I'm going to die from that. That's...
See, to make you feel better, I do the same thing, but it's not M&M's. It's my vape, which is just going to kill me so much faster.
yeah.
Like, I've woken up and, hit it and fallen back asleep, and a little bit later, I woke up again, and I exhaled, and I'm just hoping, I didn't actually fall asleep.
yeah.
And I just exhaled maybe, 3 seconds later. But I'm sleep hitting my vape is what I'm figuring out, which
Oh.
is going to be a problem.
Well, I mean, at least you're not going to choke to death from it.
No, you're right, yeah. I
M&M's,
just-
that's probably going to be my downfall. They're going to be like, do you think it would have been diabetes? No, it would have been an M&M. He choked on it.
But does that
you
still
cut out the
count?
middleman.
Does it what?
Does that still count as a diabetes death because it's
If
sugar? You die
if
by
you
sugar.
vague it up a little bit, you die by sugar.
Yeah.
I guess, but if I choke from it, then I died by, M&M. Which I hope whatever way I die, somebody puts that on my tombstone. And they should put it in my obituary. Does it not piss you off when someone dies and you don't know how?
Yeah, why don't they tell you?
I would like to know.
In all honesty, it's not even from an aspect of wanting to know. It's just why are you telling me he's dead and you're not telling me why yet?
Yeah.
I hate when reporters are like, he died. We'll let you know later. And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, just tell me when you know.
Yeah, I want to know now. I have to know why they died. I mean, and people whisper about it at the funeral, oh, what happened? He got hit by a bus.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, really? Yeah, well.
Or it'll take 5 years to get the real truth, and then you find out Chad Bennington wasn't a sad guy after all. He was just jacking off in a closet.
Same thing with Kill Bill. Bill from Kill Bill. That's how he died.
No
Yeah,
way.
David Carradine. He died,
Ah.
and they actually said that's how he died. He died.
Oh yeah, he
from-
was like the original to die to that, wasn't
yeah, died jerking off with a belt around his
Oh,
neck.
the asphyxiation thing?
Yeah.
he? Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't got into that yet. But usually if I am having sex, not like you'll need to know, but sometimes I do like to choke my partner, and I don't know why that is. Could be the aggression, could be the snap, could be the bipolar still trying to come out.
Well,
I'll
I mean,
fuck
it's-
you all right until you
It's
fucking
because
die.
you're only allowed to be angry with sex now. Even if you're angry
Yeah.
at the gym, you're a weird guy. I'm like, no, I just need somewhere to do it. And if
Yeah.
I choke any longer with my sex partner, it's gonna go bad. It's gonna be our least. Every guy has thought about. You're like, okay, what if I'm choking a lady and I slip? And I don't have the core strength to hold myself up. I might choke her, man.
That's going to bring me to the next level of being a producer when I get a call from you in the middle of the night. Hey, I need you to bury a body with me.
I thought you were gonna say that's gonna bring me to the next level of that's my new kink. I was like, oh my god,
no,
Blake,
no.
Jesus Christ,
I'm going to have.
I need to kill a lady.
Hey, I need your help burying this lovely lady.
No, that's going next to the dog out there.
Oh, we're not burying shit. I'm from Louisiana. There's bayous for that.
Exactly. You got bayous and you got pigs. That's what we got out here. I know where all the pigs run out here.
There you go.
Yeah.
Find the pigs.
They eat everything.
Everything. Can't
So-
find a body now.
We listen to too many murder things. We shouldn't.
But do you ever go like somewhere like when you like have to go somewhere like in the woods or something like that? Does the first thought that ever come to your mind is like, I could bury a body here?
Never
Oh.
once.
No,
Never once.
I think that all the time.
Pussy. You were in the military, really?
Maybe you guys are cousins. 'Cause
Like I don't intend on murdering somebody. This is gonna be the downfall of my life.
yeah.
It's gonna happen, and then now it's on this podcast, and they're like,
It's,
"Well, he did say he wasn't trying to, but it happens, right?"
It's the old Snoop Dogg line. You got to get ready to stay ready.
Exactly.
Yeah, like I don't want to end up killing someone and then having to realize my plan. I've got a go bag, but it's all mental. Like I need these things.
Yeah, right. Because you can't Google. Oh well, I just murdered someone. Now what? Like I guess you could.
Yeah, hypothetically speaking, I'm not gonna go to Azle, Texas, where no one else lives.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna drop the body in Dallas.
ExpressVPN, as long as you have your VPN going. you
Like
can
I'm not
look-
gonna take the phone, man. I go to bed
No,
at
if you
12
need- if you
p.m.
need-
every single night, so that way it's not weird when the cops look at my phone and see, oh, he stays at home every single night at midnight because I might be Batman.
Okay, I thought of an alibi if this ever happens. Okay, and you just kind of have to go with it because it takes a minute. But you have to find like some sort of like a recording device. And if you have like Siri or like Google or something like that, make it a habit of like always asking questions, right? Like, hey Google, how would like what's 8 times 7 or something, like hard stuff.
Right.
And then like do it all the time, and then like eventually like go somewhere and just like record your voice asking questions to Siri and see how long it like takes her to like answer them. Okay, then you record that like your questions, and then you leave to go bury the body or something. But you leave the recording device to start asking questions, so it seems like you're there the whole time. But don't bring your phone, obviously. You know,
Right.
get an extra phone. Like don't have no tracking device. But like yeah, then you have somebody at home, which is you asking questions. Like does it make sense? No.
Yeah. It's
I need
kind
to
of like
think of it a little more.
it's kind of like having a bird that talks.
Yes.
Here's the only problem with your plan.
Okay.
Is you just said it on this podcast, which we're going to release, is
Right.
now you just gave that to someone else.
Ooh. Oh, if I do. Oh, can sue them. They're gonna like have a Lifetime movie network with this.
Hey,
like,
that guy's a copycat. What
yeah,
the fuck?
like that was my story. That today, what is this? 5/23. Yeah, on
that was my
June
murder.
9th,
What the
that was
fuck? You took my
mine.
murder.
That's my idea, motherfucker.
Damn
right.
it.
I will sue them.
I never get any credit.
And
Fuck.
you have it on video.
Yeah, like that. This is mine. If you're listening, watching, whatever,
Like when a comic steals a joke and like, no, it's timestamp, motherfucker.
right here,
Yeah.
right now.
This is my premise. I was the first one to say that.
If it becomes a movie, I want the rights. Like it's all. Yeah.
Me and Paxton legally release that to you to have.
Thank you. It'll be my
Okay.
only claim to fame.
So I feel like we both, since we're second cousins, might both tinge on the ADHD. We barely got into your parents.
We have been all over the place. No, I love that.
I trying so hard to be a better host to get back to the big topics because we touch on a lot and
Yeah.
never clear up anything.
That's my brain, right? That's also my comedy styling.
Yeah, Kinsey Ford told me I had woman's ADHD because apparently there's men and women's ADHD, and I'm a lady. I don't know
But
what
what's
it
the
is.
difference? I want to know the difference.
So she was telling me if you're in here and
Uh-huh.
quiet, you've got the ladies side of it, and if you've got squirrel brain, you're
Oh.
going back and forth. That's the dude's ADHD.
Damn. Look at me all dude-like. That's fun, right?
That's awesome. There you go. Yeah.
I feel so masculine now with this rhinestone jacket on.
Rhinestone
Hello.
jacket on. Okay. So you said your dad was. Explain again what happened to your dad. I'm sorry.
So he had his leg crushed offshore.
Offshore. Was
Like when
a
he
rig?
worked in a rig, yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
so yeah, he got a decent settlement for that.
Oh.
And then blew that up his nose.
Oh.
Yeah. This was like I was born in '86, so this was right before I was born. Somehow, I think it was a drug-induced reason why I'm here, which that's
Oh.
fine.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm grateful to be that kind of mistake.
You've got to have your reasons to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of us are anchor babies in marriages. Some of us are cocaine problems.
Yeah. Could have been any meth. I don't know. Prescription drugs was really his downfall, but that's a whole different story. So yeah, we grew up white trash because my dad got a disability check, and then because my mom was crazy, she got one too. But disability only brings about $500 a month at this time, so that's like maybe $1,000 coming in. And I'm
Right.
talking about like the early '90s, so it's not like anything crazy, but like that's how we grew up on food stamps, like paper food stamps.
Mhm.
Like I actually still have a $1 food stamp. Like I
Really?
saved it. I was like,
Dude, that's kind of a cool thing to have framed. Like,
yeah.
just for the office one day.
Because like yeah, I went from this to well, I mean, I haven't made it far yet. But,
Went from this to a side step and a half step up.
right, like
We move like pawns in chess. Like it's
Yeah,
just
just
barely.
Yeah, like I don't have to worry about having to file for food stamps. I mean, I might. Who knows? You never know. I hope.
Yeah.
Anyways.
One more turn happens. I've always lived my life just feeling like waiting for the other shoe to drop. I don't know what that is, but now, especially with just the world, it's gotten so aggressive that I just don't care anymore. Like one of these days, some green person is gonna walk up to my door and say, "We're gonna eat you," and I'm just gonna give in. Like I just got nothing.
I mean, where do you want to start?
Yeah.
Like, with
I
the
thought
leg?
this was coming in 2024. You're a little late to the party. I didn't know what was gonna happen. So, you said your mom was bipolar, and what was
schizophrenic too?
was that early into your childhood? I know schizophrenia it usually comes later in a person's life. Was it early into your childhood that she was showing signs?
Well, it's stuff we never paid attention to because we would have never known as kids. Like we didn't know what was going on with her. We just thought she was crazy. And
Right,
so, like,
that's mom.
Yep, and like so the point to like my childhood is like because they were disabled, they didn't have normal hours. Like they would be asleep all day. Like they were like vampires. They would sleep all day. So whenever we came home from school or even on the weekends, we woke up and we had to like leave the house. So we like our little white trash selves were just all running through the fields, playing in the forest, like
Right,
drinking out of water hoses. I mean, we were just like little roaches. Like it was I don't know. And we had plenty of friends who had a lot of roaches. Like, we might have been, like, white trash, like, poor trailer park trash. And I'm not knocking on trailers, but I grew up in a very horrible place. But, like, you knew you were a little bit better whenever you were the one who didn't have roaches. Like, you were like, I'm fancy because, like, these people over here in this trailer, like, it is rat infested with roaches and rats. It's, like, disgusting.
Well,
we were a little bit ahead.
We've got family in a bad part of Texas, and their thing is the mom way back in the day bought a house, and now the plan is to just keep buying mobile homes to put on that property until everyone's just dead and everyone has just assumed everything else. Like it is, we're just building a commune site, and then me and my parents are just up here in like DFW, and we're like, how's it fucking going down there?
Doing just a little bit better.
Yeah, we call them and you just hear a banjo talking in the background. You're like, Jesus Christ, how are you a cartoon? And your name is Zeke. What the fuck?
Zeke?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Your family's deliverance.
Yeah, dude. I'm really I've never known this for sure, but I'm really hoping his full name is Ezekiel. But there is a slight chance his full name is actually just Zeke.
Yeah, just They didn't know how to spell it. Too many letters.
He's a great dude. He's like having a country Jordan Peterson at all the family reunion. He's a great guy to talk to, but at a certain point, he just makes you think about something, and then you shut down. And you're like, nah, I'm done, Uncle Zeke. You just changed my whole life. Thank you.
Does he drink?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's where
the
it comes
best kind
from.
of uncle. I'm like, yeah, that's the best kind of uncle to have.
Yeah, he got me fucked up off peppermint schnapps where I almost fell in a bonfire. Like he's a
That's
fun
good
time.
Uncle. That's the uncle I was. Well, I had because I stopped drinking. Yeah, I was the one like because my nephews were like 10 years like younger than me, so I was the one at parties like
Sneaking
when we
them
were
shit.
drinking. I'm like, here you go ahead. Just don't tell nobody. Like, and don't stand nobody like near them because your breath is really gonna give it away. Yeah, that kind of stuff. So
It's so funny. I just had one of my first friends from college. He's not in comedy. I can't really say his name, but he's having his first kid here very soon. And we were already talking about it. I'm like, I'm going to get your kid fucked up at 12. And I just keep saying that in front of the wife because I know it bothers her. And that's just what we do. We just like to bother. Like, I love bothering my mom. It makes me laugh. I love bothering her because, it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, I see she starts getting like, I'm like, I'm just kidding. I'll wait till 14. Like it's,
Right, a
I'm gonna be a
respectable
good. And the
age.
dad's like, no, you're giving it to him at 12. Like he's gotta make sure how to drink.
yeah, you got to kill those liver and kidneys real early in life.
Yeah,
like
dude, if I had
build them
someone,
up, make them strong.
yeah, that was part of
See?
it. Is I went fucking hog wild on alcohol in college because my dad was sober my whole childhood, and my mom rarely ever drank. And when she did, she wasn't an alcoholic in the sense that she was drinking all the time, but she was an alcoholic in the same way I am, in that if she starts, she doesn't stop until she wakes up the next morning.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
me.
I don't-
Literally,
I think,
we are cousins.
yeah, it's yeah, we're cousins. But what I've started to figure out is because I'm not just an alcoholic, I'm just an addict. Like whatever it is, at first it was chocolate cake when I had tits when I was 8. It's always been whatever it is. It might be Dr. Pepper, strawberries and cream for a month until I find my next fixation. And then it's just that till the next one.
You're literally like, I'm not even kidding. That's how I am. Like, I will get addicted to something really easy. And like for alcohol, for me, like you were saying, like it is. I'm not oh, let's just have a glass of wine at dinner. No, we're gonna have the bottle, and I'll probably have another bottle until I decide to go to sleep.
If
I
we're
decide to
going,
go to
why are
sleep.
we not going?
Thank you. Yes.
Yes.
And I don't just go and order like a double, like a single of something. It's always a double, like anywhere I go, but in a short glass because I don't want like just soda water or some shit. Like I basically
Right.
just want like a double shot, but with a little hint of flavor, so that way it doesn't burn. But I want it to be the cheapest vodka
You
there
want the
is.
chaser already in it. And
Yes.
Yeah, that's. I had to take a year off from drinking in college because I had to get sober,
Mhm.
California sober, before I was even 21. Like before I had even turned 21, I was already an alcoholic. And I was like, oh, man, fuck this. I hate not having control. That was my biggest problem with it. My biggest problem with it was waking up every morning and then spending 45 minutes figuring out what I did last night. And those texts are like, hey.
Oh, do you
You're
ever?
like, there was nothing worse than like, oh, no, we left halfway through. You sent me a text at 4 a.m. It's like, oh, I got to count for 3 more hours I didn't know about. Fuck.
Right.
How did I meet these people?
But do you wake up with immediate dread, like, oh my god, what did I
yeah.
say?
That existential dread is immediate. It's before I go to bed because I also sober up quick.
Oh,
If I get in
don't.
bed, like I've already got the hangover
Mm-mm.
before I wake up. I don't know what that is, but so that starts right before I go to bed. So 50-50, I might not go to bed at all because I'm thinking about it all night long. And then, the next day is awful.
God, so awful. But I have to take my crazy meds because, like I said before, I'm psychotic because I'm bipolar. So, like, when I'm drinking and I take that, I am out like a dead person.
Really?
Which is probably how I'll also kill myself too. Is just being like Karen Walker about like you gotta admit you have a problem, and I'm like dipping like pills into vodka, being like
some
taking it
Nurse
and going to
Jackie
bed.
shit.
Yeah, this won't. What is it? I don't know.
One more Prozac.
This will kill you,
Yeah.
but you don't know me.
Yeah, I have tolerance, which probably will be how I die. That's what I've told everybody. I'm like, I will probably just die by overdose, and then it wasn't
So-
because I intended to. It was just because I was having a good time.
It's what happened. I thought I took a Benadryl. It turns out I took 2 because I
Yeah.
forgot about the first one. But that was one that my mom just recently told me about, is that Benadryl is like the worst thing in medication known to man because it knocks you out and makes you tired because you're losing even more oxygen than you're supposed to. Like it just cuts off all oxygen to the brain.
Shut up.
Yeah,
Is that what makes you dizzy? You're just gonna pass out from that? Oh.
I had to figure that out the hard way with that and NyQuil because Benadryl does that to your brain and NyQuil has no sleeping agents in it. So if you get tired from NyQuil, you're technically ODing on NyQuil. And I was ODing every single. I was robo-tripping constantly on NyQuil.
And it's super bad for your liver too.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna be fucked. Like that's why.
Like, I did the same shit. Like
Yeah.
I do NyQuil. If you mix it right with booze,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, it's called a hillbilly nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you put whiskey
that's
in
called?
it. Yeah. Or if you use tequila, like I had to a couple of times. That's what was that?
Wait, you
Oh,
mixed it in it?
Yeah.
I did with wine,
No.
vodka. Like yeah.
Well, I used to down Z-Quil all the time because I was like, that's how I'm gonna go to sleep.
I think Z-Quil's okay. I think it's actually made with sleeping agents as long as you just don't fucking drink a bottle.
oh,
But like
you know
a
how
whole
people like
bottle.
you get the little cup and it's like take a teaspoon.
Yeah.
I would just take like throw it back and be
Yeah.
like that should be enough to put me to sleep, whatever that is.
Those little cups are only around for as long as it takes me to get it into the trash can as soon as I drop the microwave. I've never once used one of those fucking cups. Like it makes it impossible to do, and then you're just that little jackass trying to jello shot tongue the last bit of the
Right.
medicine out.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I
like,
just-
yeah.
And then your
I need
mom's
more.
standing right there and you're 9, you're like, this feels awkward. Like, why am I doing this?
When I had my tonsils taken out, that's how it was for me because they gave me like codeine and stuff to take home, and like whenever my parents would put it in the little cup for what reason I don't know, but I was the one being like trying to like lick it all out. I was like, this shit feels so good. How do I get more?
At that point, yeah, if I'm getting the pills already, I'm gonna go. I'm
Once
gonna
again,
take
yes.
it. Yes. There was one time my dad definitely didn't do this allegedly.
Allegedly.
But I had woken up with like this huge, weird, like earache that I'd never had before, never had since. I still don't know what it was, but like I'd had ear infections before, nowhere near it. And I tell my dad, and he's like, "Here, just take this." And then it got to a point where I was hallucinating on that. He's like, "And how does your ear feel?" I was like, I feel great, but it still hurts. And he's like, "We need to go to the hospital now," because he'd given me like his back pain prescription meds, and I'm like, "I see a dragon, but my ear hurts. Can we
Right?
hurry this fucking up?" It's like 2:00 in the morning. That was a weird. I barely remember a whole lot of that. Yeah, I still don't know what the fuck happened because I was high on pain pills at 12.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah, no, it was. I got the pain pills then, and I did not get pain pills when I got my wisdom teeth out. I got them for like a day, and then my dad threw them away because of all of our addiction shit.
Oh well.
Which is smart, but damn it, I wanted those
I
pain
thought you were
pills.
about to say that like the doctor just didn't give you any.
No, I don't think they're legally allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Are they?
Oh, I mean, I got mine out in the military, so I think that was a different set of rules. But I had a dry socket.
Oh,
Really?
I've heard that's so
Oh my
painful.
god, it was so painful. And then they gave me Percocets, and then
Nice.
it wasn't painful anymore.
Pop up a couple perk 30s.
Well,
there you go.
And I wasn't allowed to like work on the helicopters anymore because I was high.
Because you were high on
I was
perk
high.
30s.
But so like the first day, I just sat in the shop, and all the higher ups were like walking in. They're like, "What the fuck is this idiot doing? Not doing anything in the shop." So my LPO at the time, she gave me my flight helmet. She's like, "Just walk around the flight line and act like you're doing something." So I was just high on Percocets, like.
Will you please pull up Da Vinci's Code, the little blueprints of Leonardo da Vinci's crazy contraptions? Because that's what I'm just imagining you're building on perk 30s trying to build helicopters.
I'm just there's like 7 helicopters all spinning at the same time, and I'm like, whoa.
That's how we got that
must've
Black
been a
Hawk
trip.
cargo ship helicopter. It's just some dude was high off his ass when he shouldn't have been. Yeah, Da Vinci's Code. Look up schematics too. That might help. Nope.
Oh, I fucked that up.
Yeah, you did.
Thank you.
You also got Da Vinci wrong, but that's okay. I wasn't gonna.
It gave you the option at the bottom. Well, whenever it says, never mind.
Sweet.
Shut up, AI.
Is AI everything now? Like, do we
Yeah,
really have to give it every possible opportunity to take over our lives?
Hey, I'm here for it if it helps me do anything easier. I'm lazy.
In all honesty, but like at a certain point, it's like you ever see these old
That right there, is that what you're talking about?
Yes. Okay. So he has like this schematic for a weird ass plane, but it's the first plane ever, and it's usually it's used like a bike. Like you've got pedals, and this whole thing folds up. I think they did a spoof on it in Futurama, but yeah, going back to GP, like there was those old clickbait ads. You're like, we're trying to revive dinosaurs, and then you'd see the old Twitter, like every single person would quote with, "Hey, there are a lot of movies as to why you should not do this." And then we just get AI, and we're like, have any of y'all seen iRobot? Like, we're 20 years out.
No attention.
Here it is.
Oh, dude, the original contraption.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember seeing that. Yeah, I remember seeing that in school.
I was trying to be
Wait
Batman.
a minute. I was gonna say, yeah.
You just.
Is that even from the movie? Like, I know the little thing in the corner, but like that's Batman, clearly, right?
Oh, yeah.
This
so
is a joke, right? No,
I,
or is that the real thing?
I think that might have actually been a part of it that they used in the arc of the Dark Knight movies. Because I've seen it
okay.
before, too. And they also did a spoof off of it in Futurama where Leonardo da Vinci was from an alien race where they didn't have electronics and everything. It was actually a funny episode because what had happened was he was from a different planet and he had been banished from his original planet to come here because he was the idiot of their planet.
Oh my god!
So Leonardo da Vinci is just the smartest person here, and there's a whole planet of just geniuses
Genius.
somewhere else.
Oh, that would be so cool.
And
I'm just thinking.
you're
of,
just the king of the dum-dums, Blake.
I'm just thinking. You seen The Hangover with Zach Galifianakis is counting cards and he's got all the equations going in his head. That was me, but with that.
Just trying your
Yeah,
fucking best.
Just like, yeah.
I see math, sir. And you're like, oh no. This big dumb. He built 35 helicopters today. We're going to Iraq in them right now.
Why are you beating the blade with a wrench? I don't know.
It needs to be flatter. We need absolute zero on this blade.
Third.
Oh my god!
You just build a helicopter like some people on the street corner build drum kits. You just got like a Home Depot bucket and a cymbal made out of a bedpan.
Oh my god!
It's like when you're a kid and you're playing pots and pans, with the wooden spoons.
Your mom fucking hated you then.
You were allowed to do that? That's
I
what
was going to
happens when you
say,
have
my
crazy
mom was
people.
a fucking sharpshooter with a wooden spoon from
She
across the
was
house.
hitting you with the wooden spoon.
Yeah.
That's what I grew up with. I grew up with his family. He's pretty much my brother, and his mom would beat us with the wooden spoon.
That's a good lady. And that's the weird thing is now you're coming to realize you're like, oh man, those people that beat the shit out of us, they were the good parents.
They were.
Because man, I've been in trouble so many times because I've muttered to myself at a Walmart, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him. Because they're just being little shitheads, and like there's two in the basket, and they're standing up playing sword fight with pool noodles, and there's 4 of them running around the cart. I used to work at an HEB, and I was the personal shopper, so I had to go into the store and get everything to take to the curbside. And they're just constantly, I'd have to shin myself with my big ass cart to stop it so little kids didn't get hit.
I actually did that at Kroger.
Really?
Years ago,
Did you hit a kid with it?
No. I should have. Mostly it was the elderly whenever I would be working.
That's a good one. They need to
Like,
go.
Because I would get like so much speed behind that. I'm like, we're rolling down the aisle. You see me. Like, I take up the whole thing. Why are you standing in the way? Like, get the fuck out. I don't want to break a hip. This could be bad.
And for whatever reason, old people only shop at 7 o'clock in the fucking morning. So it's the beginning of my shift. I'm dealing with 65 old people, and they're all asking me to get shit off the top shelves, which I understand. I'm a large person, but that doesn't mean I've got time to fucking honey-do list, get all these fucking things off the top shelf for every customer.
You don't have time to honey dick?
Yeah, I don't have time to honey dick or honey pot or honey do.
We love honey dick. But you know why they do that? I don't actually
So you're
like
into
honey.
food
I'll
sex.
just take the dick.
That would get sticky and messy. Damn.
No, they go because of the clearance stuff.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
that's why I go. I know. It's like right when they put everything on clearance, you're like, it got a couple more days. It ain't brown yet. Like, you go get meat, and you're like, it's still kind of red.
Yeah.
Like, you could still eat it, right? That's why I go.
I don't know if you
I'm
realize
cheap.
this, but that exact expression is the white trash coming out.
Exactly.
Because
Exactly.
we've dropped on accident some cans of SpaghettiOs somewhere trying to get the dent discount.
Yeah. Like, ripping labels off. There was no label. We don't know what's in it.
I have like 8 cans of sweetened condensed milk, something I've never used before, but they were all dented. I'm like, well, I might need these someday.
Well, I have 6 boxes of family-size Wheaties. I don't really even like cereal.
Okay, it's so
They were $1.09.
it's hilarious that you say Wheaties specifically because that was the one weird thing. You know how one kid or every kid has one weird ass thing they collect?
Mm-hmm.
Mine was Wheatie boxes. My whole life, it was just something because they were always at Walmart, but you can find cool boxes.
Uh-huh.
And I've always wanted, I want to go back because there's like a couple French Canadian ones that are like signed. They're air printed on or whatever with signatures from like soccer players and weird limited edition shit. But that was my whole life is people coming over to my house are like, are you going to fucking eat those boxes of Wheaties ever? I'm like, no, we threw all the cereal away. And they'd all get mad. Like, we were 6 and they were acting like we were stoners. Like, I was going to eat that. And like, first thing, it's 15 feet in the air, so good luck getting up there, stupid. And no, like, I want these, man.
Do you still have them?
I think so. I think
You
my
have
parents
the
still have them.
Caitlyn Jenner one?
I was about to ask that!
There's a Bruce Jenner one.
Oh, do you have it?
Yeah.
I feel like
the true meaning of limited edition. It was not meant for long.
I think Caitlyn Jenner should have her own box now.
Yeah.
Oh, she should have her own.
She should have her own
everything.
box.
Yeah.
I
She's
feel like
hilarious.
they should have like a limited edition part 2. Like,
Yeah. It's a
I would
sequel
buy it.
now.
yeah,
Well, he would definitely buy
Thank
it.
you, sequel. Like
Yeah.
Wheaties is that Wheaties. If you're listening, by the way, another company.
On-
If you want to
if we
sponsor
could,
us,
so it was above the bed on little floating shelves around. If we could do that with the top of this room, I'd never leave.
You were just bitching about not being able to pay me, and now you want to fucking build shelves. and
Shut
put
up!
Wheatie
I'm
boxes.
an idea man, Blake. I am
Right?
not a doer. I just think
Same.
things.
That's why I'm lazy. I'm like, my career could be going so much better if I had a team.
I know, but I really enjoy sitting in my bed alone like this, thinking of ideas. Like, that's my whole pride and joy is like something I might be able to do, but I won't.
Exactly. I've thought of a million ideas. I have it in my phone. Like, there's a list of notes. It's just shit I will never do.
I know.
Jokes that will never make it.
Okay, so have you ever caught one of your inventions that came to reality? Because I've done that with Shark Tank. Like, I came up with something when I was 12 for an attachment for, like, a water bottle like this, but it was a dog bowl. So, like, you just squeeze the water bottle, water would come and sit in the bowl, and it wouldn't go back down and do that. 3 years later, it's on Shark Tank. I'm like, oh, fuck me. I was 12 years old when I came up with that. I thought it was real. I'm a dumb kid. I thought that was something I could make money off of.
Okay, so I actually do have a product that I've thought of. I know. Follow me here, though. And
Okay,
this is so
we're
weird
in.
because it's not something that I thought of in my life that would be like, oh, this is something that I would need that would help make life better. But I think if you could make toothpaste and a toothbrush combined into one, so like the handle is the toothpaste and then the brush, and then like you push a button up or whatever, and then it comes out. And then you just put like a little cover over it whenever you're traveling or whatever, so like it doesn't get nasty.
They kind of do. They have those little ones that have like the little bit of like toothpaste on them.
Oh,
is that
those,
already like invented?
Yeah, like
they're
the
kind of like the
premium-
size
yeah,
of like teeth flossers.
Yeah, they're like the on the go ones.
Oh, those little ones.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well, I was thinking more like sort of
Yeah,
like that,
yeah.
but bigger. Like,
Yeah.
I know it's not something that I've been in my life where I'm like, why is
This
there
is-
a toothpaste and a toothbrush not put together?
Here's who you pitch it to so they can have a comeback because I'm ready for their comeback. Tooth Tunes. You pitch that to Tooth Tunes and bring them back. I miss brushing my teeth to rock music and Kids Bop sometimes.
and Jonas
oh,
Brothers.
yeah, the toothbrush that had
Yes.
music.
You take Tooth
Me.
Tunes and you have them add toothpaste to the Tooth Tunes.
What? I forgot all about that. I mean, That's crazy.
It was the only thing that got me to brush my teeth when I was a kid, and that's so stupid as it sounds. Just waking up, and it was a Kiss tooth tune. I don't even like Kiss, but just waking up to hear any noise other than my parents screaming at me was bliss.
Just like I'm gonna rock out with my teeth out. Like I didn't even know I forgot all about those.
What the fuck? Oh my god, that's so crazy. This was a commercial?
That was a commercial back then? What?
What the
Oh my god.
Oh, you know what? They're spoofing that old Apple commercial.
Oh yeah,
I guarantee it.
yeah.
Oh, but
yeah.
did that not look like Hitler?
Did
Did you see that?
That was crazy.
At the beginning when he pulled the toothbrush
They were
up, did it-
toothbrush hiling. They just
He
didn't
looked like-
extend the arm.
It was
That's the craziest thing I've ever seen for a kid's toothpaste commercial. What?
Yeah,
Or toothbrush?
2007. You know, those were the
no,
good
literally
days.
go back to the beginning. Like you did see that, right? It
Yeah.
looked like Hitler right there. All of them look like Hitler.
The Third Reich.
Yes.
Okay, I will say though, it's a really good thing that this is a diverse demographic. It could have been so much worse if it was all white kids brushing their teeth. That would have been so much.
Well, they couldn't do it now because they'd do like all black kids. They would look even
then
worse.
it looked like Coney's kids from 2012.
Oh my
Remember writing on your hand to get them to stop doing that?
I forgot about the Coney shit.
It was one of going back to snapping earlier. That was one of the first few times I've snapped is because I remember it was a huge thing because that happened when I was early high school, late middle school, or something
snap?
like that. No, the Coney 2012. And
Oh
the,
yeah.
the big thing that was happening was you were supposed to write "Stop Coney 2012" on your hand, and we were doing that every day for a week. And I think I did it for 2 days. I'm like, I don't feel like doing this anymore. I don't feel like drawing on my hand
You're
because
done.
I'm going to wake up with half of Coney 2012 on my face in the middle of third period. And then I didn't do it. And like the third day when I didn't show up, everyone's like, you got to write it on your hand, man. You got to write it on your hand. You're a bad person. You don't want them to stop those kids. And I just stopped. I go, there's no fucking way anyone is telling them that us pudgy white kids in Texas are wanting to stop his army and that writing on our hands is gonna stop it. And then I think I went to the office. Like, I think they thought I had a mental breakdown. I'm like, I'm not crazy.
Should put Coney on a Wheaties box.
Oh,
How old are you?
I'm 23.
Yeah, he's young.
I know. I'm gonna die.
Fuck.
I'm gonna die young. It's gonna be wild.
Okay.
Hey, Blake, can you do me a favor and just kind of prop this door open so some air will
do you have the
circulate?
AC
Thank
on?
you.
I do have it on. It's just, I don't know what it is about this one specific room, but I think something's fucked up there.
And we're both in long sleeve black clothes. Real smart.
Yeah,
But
I'm,
yeah,
I'm
it's
dying a little bit.
A little moist over here. I could use a Whitney rag if you got one.
Whitney rag?
A Whitney
What's a-
Houston. And whenever she performs, she used to get like super hot, and she'd always have a rag.
Oh.
Bye-bye! Like y'all didn't watch the show? See, because I'm old.
To be honest, I think I was just staring at Whitney's ass the whole time.
Whitney's ass?
Or any bit of Whitney. She was hot.
The gay in me, literally, is just like, I didn't even think about that. She's pretty. Or was. I
always
wouldn't even
loved-
actually thought that she was hot. I was just like, it's Whitney. Like, that when you're gay, you're just like,
Oh, she's an
she's
icon.
the queen. She's the icon. So you're just like, yeah, she's pretty, but like sexually, I would have just been like, I don't.
It was actually specifically that fourth one. I remember
Right
that one
there?
specifically. Yeah, that one caught a few nights on my phone when
Oh.
I was growing up.
Zeus.
Zeus, is he in here?
Yeah.
Oh, little buddy. He's come on a couple times, but he gets skittish real
Well,
fast.
he almost knocked down that camera last time.
Yeah,
he was here.
that was tough.
Yeah.
My cat's not a showbiz cat either. She doesn't like the camera. She doesn't like phones. She doesn't like take pictures. She doesn't like to dance. She doesn't like anything. She just like to sit in the corner and watch.
Yeah, he just likes to sit on top of my neck, and I'll let him give his kisses for all of 5 seconds, and then all of the love in the world can't make that tongue not feel weird. I can't do cat licks. It's weird.
It is because it feels like sandpaper. But like, do you ever like? Does he ever jump up on you and then immediately just like does the pawing to your nuts? Just,
yeah,
We're gonna make biscuits right here on your dick. Like,
yeah. Or
And you're like, you should keep going, but now I can't. This is awkward. Like, is this bestiality? Like, okay, don't look that up. That's
I'm gonna
gross, but-
stop you here in like 3 or 4 minutes,
Right?
but you better stop here in like
Yeah,
3 or 4 minutes.
because it'd be weird. I might like it. Like,
No, he's perfect at when he's sprinting across my couch, he will always use my dick as that extra launch pad. Little boop.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I'll catch him like every once in a while. I'll get my hands down as a little like cheer bump to get him over the wall or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a fucking rat bastard. Like he'll jump off the top ropes off the back of the couch and use that part. I'm like, you were already in the air. You could have just kept going. Oh, and it's such an aggressive. It's the worst kind, the ones that just hurts in 30 seconds.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you're like, oh man, this is gonna be bad, and then it finally hits, and you just feels like someone yanked your asshole out somehow. Oh God.
Yeah. Little bitty paws can really hurt your dick, like, or actually your balls. I mean, yeah, balls hurt paws. Wait, paws hurt balls. Whatever.
The worst part is he's got claws with his paws on my balls because I am very bad about cutting his fucking nails. Oh yeah, that's my degree. That it's a sham.
It says criminal justice. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, you went to school for
Yeah.
What do you do for a living?
Not that.
Okay. I don't think nobody actually goes to college and does what they went to college for.
Yeah, it's like 20% that actually do now, and that's what I say is I went to school to figure out that was not my shit.
Same.
But now I would just work for my parents. We have a foundation repair company that I'm a salesman for. But yeah, like my big kicker with that was no matter how much I really thought I was going to end up being a detective at some point, like sex crimes or homicide or something, I was cheating a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone else around me was cheating because it was COVID. So, like, everything was online. It had to be online. Couldn't do anything in person. And, I was never going to not cheat because I didn't want to do it. But then at a certain point, I'm like, oh, yeah, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
And, like, if I wanted to do this, like, the whole time I was actually really interested in sports science. But I'm also really bad about hyperfixating on one thing, and then I love it so much until the day that I finally hate it.
Yes.
And I didn't want to hate being healthy, and that was my biggest thing. Is I work out every single day, but it has to be such a small part of my life to where it's not what I hyperfixate on.
Yeah, you don't want to make it an obsession.
Yeah, because everyone always says I want to make the thing I love the most my job, and that's awesome, but I don't want to end up hating the thing I love the most, because work at the end of the day is still work.
Exactly. Even in comedy and everything, because it's like eventually it does become a job. I mean, it is a job. It's what you want it to be, but it also can be very tiring too.
Yeah, and a lot of it is the preemptive exhaustion of it. Like last night I went and did a show in Granbury, and it was the first time I'd ever gone to do a clean set. It was the first time I ever even reached out and said, I can do one. Because I started off like most other comics, and I would just say anything that would shock anyone.
Yeah.
And then we dialed it back, but it was still dirty and raunchy a little. And I'm like, this is never going to work in the clubs. I've got to work this out. And then I finally was at a point where I would never try to work clean unless I gave myself the deadline of having one. And I had been tired all week leading up to that because it was just exhausting. Like, oh, fuck. I so easily mess up a word and then accidentally say shit without even realizing it.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that didn't happen. I didn't win, but it's whatever. It was a competition. I'm just glad I got 8 minutes of clean material and I can figure that out. But it was almost like a depression-based level of exhaustion that was coming from this week because this is such a internal job that we have because everything that we start comes from our thoughts or what happens to us. So I don't know if you've ever had this, but something will happen to me and it takes a lot of time, but I know the whole time leading up to actually starting to do the joke, I'm like, I need to do this. This is a bit, but I can't do it right now.
Right. Oh, yeah, 100%.
Like, have you had that recently?
Oh, actually, yeah, I actually had something happen to me this week that normally, like, so my kind of comedy style is, like, it's just about me being single because, like, that's just pretty much what's going on.
Right, and it's uber relatable.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about what I do for work because that's boring, and, like, if you're not in my industry, then it makes no sense to you. So, like, I don't find humor there. I mean, I find humor in the people I meet, but nothing there. But
not everything has to be a joke.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And like day to day, not everything's funny. And I think sometimes too with comedy is everybody thinks, oh, you do comedy, so everything must be funny all the time. It's really not. And like,
no,
that's a persona that you see on stage.
The funny aspect a lot more often is the time.
Yeah.
If that same thing would have happened to me today instead of 8 months ago when I started writing this bit, I'd be pissed off. I would not be laughing right now.
Yeah.
Oh, remember talking about that ghetto white lady from Oak Cliff? Yeah.
That's me.
That was a part of our episode that came out this week. So go check out the one with Trey, episode 26. But there was a chick I was dating, and she kept making me mad.
Mhm.
And, like, I kept using that as material because it was just what was happening at the moment. And it was like someone had said, see, but you're making jokes about it. Isn't that relationship good? And I'm like, oh, no, we broke up almost immediately. This was like a week's worth of just time together, and then we had to call it quits because, she was awful.
Right.
And that's why it's funny now, because you've had someone that was awful before.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
It's the comedy is just the relatability.
Yeah.
And all that's why I love talking to the crowd.
Oh, my God.
Do you crowd work?
Yes, and so like when it comes to comedy, that's like where it was the problem. Like whenever I was younger, I was like, I know I can make people laugh. Like I know I'm funny. Like, well, you kind of. That's also kind of weird too to have to accept that fact. I feel.
Mhm.
Do you feel like that whenever you're like, when people? Well, I don't really bring up comedy for one. A lot of happening right here in my head all at one time. Sorry.
No, I'm right there with you. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, I'm in every
There's so
hop,
much.
skip, and a jump.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like for me, for comedy, like I grew up like knowing I was funny. Like I kind of figured that out. Like I knew that I had really good timing. Like I think I do. Like sometimes it may not always be the best. Like some days are better than others. But like I knew, but I was like, how do I harness that into something?
Right.
And I was like, how do I do stand up? Like how does that work? And like, so like I've kind of had to like cater myself and try to like figure that out. But like crowd work is really like the best for me because like I am pretty quick on my feet. I can like figure things out really quickly, really fast, make them funny.
And you'll be one of the few comics that's bringing the audience into the show
Yeah.
during a set. That's my biggest thing is like, you'll have this a lot of times with hecklers too. Like you'll hit people that are getting hecklers and they're not like, fuck you, boo, da 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 da. But a lot of people that don't go to a lot of comedy don't realize that a heckle is anything like up to an egregious laugh.
Yeah.
You're being supportive, but your laugh is so fucking awful
Yeah.
that it becomes a distraction. And if a lot of newer comics would be able to realize, hey, if you reach out like just in a positive manner and don't shit on that person,
Yeah.
they will love you even more, but they'll try their best to not be a distraction.
Yeah. No, I agree.
And that's what so many people like. I was talking to somebody last night about it, in that this is our show that we're doing. We're performing at this show, but most of these people on a show
Performance. That's the
performing.
key word, performance. People forget that.
Yeah, and it's a performance, and it's a performance that these people that are sitting in that are our whole lifeblood still paid $15. And
Yeah.
sometimes we bomb. So some of us have to just like, all right, you paid $15, so I'm going to do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
Please keep coming back. Like, we're jesters. We're court jesters, and that's what we are.
Yeah, and then that's the business, and I think people forget that part too. Is like we're performing, hoping you'll follow us because we need followers on Instagram because you can't do anything on anything now without having like any big social media.
Right. You
Which-
can't get in any clubs without 500 followers or something like that. It's probably way more, but
Yeah, like and mine's not that much because once we go back to what we were talking about earlier about being lazy, like there's a whole lot of things I want done, but I need a team because
yeah, I would be
suck.
so good at delegation. Like,
oh my god,
if I had 14 little guys that are just, I'll do anything that you say. Like,
Yeah.
pick up my laundry. I just need someone to like, fucking. I'm a crew chief at heart.
yeah, just put some videos on my Instagram. That's all I need. Like I have so much, but they're not uploaded. They're not. I need help with that. Not gonna lie.
Did you ever watch the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine?
I've watched part of it. I haven't watched like the whole thing, so I know bits and pieces.
I need Gina, aka Chelsea Peretti's character, the boss or the captain's assistant
yeah, I know
that's
what you're
just
talking
always on her phone.
Yeah, that's what I need too.
I've been looking recently just to find and see if there are like YouTube gurus out there that'll just like have a
Yes.
class and teach me YouTube. Just not even like how to upload videos or anything like that. You're just like, here's what they don't like.
Yeah.
And here's what'll stop getting your shit shadow banned for
Yeah.
fucking random reasons.
We just need to find that 18, 19-year-old kid that's a whiz that will do it as an intern to
I know.
be on the podcast.
I've been waiting for one of them to end up being a comic, but all of these comics that are coming out recently are fucking dumb. Like, they're all stupid.
God.
I talk to them, and they're like, Jesus Christ, man, how are you going to make anyone laugh? But I love you. You're so sweet. And then they get up there and make everyone laugh, but accidentally because they're just so fucking dumb.
There's a few people that you're like, really?
Yeah. And I love them dearly. I love them because we need them, but also it'd be a hoot if they stopped sometimes.
I just think like, especially like people that are younger that I've seen, because I've met somebody who was 18 at a show, and I was like, I wish that I had your gumption. I wish that I had figured this out. Like I knew what I wanted. I didn't know, excuse me, how to do it or what to do. And that's how I actually wound up here in Dallas, is because like it was like a lot of stuff had happened in my life, and it was like, are you gonna follow your dreams? And if you're just gonna keep having this dream, like when are you actually gonna take the step to make it happen? And
Right.
so by coming here, that's like was the step. It was like, we're gonna start making this happen, because do you dream? I assume you must dream a lot too, because if you're a lot like me, you're lazy. There's things you want to do, so there's like a lot of dreams, and
Yeah.
it's like you can see yourself there. It's just like fuck.
But if I fail
Now I gotta get
while
out of
going for
bed.
that, that's gonna hurt a lot more.
Oh,
is
you
the
know,
idea.
really, I don't think well, for me, like I personally don't see something as a failure, which is weird because I'm a negative person. I'm not so positive.
I'm such a pessimist. It's so bad.
I don't even like the word pessimist. I like to think realist, because like I really think it's
that's
like
100%.
realistic point of view, not like, because even like with something I competed in last month or whatever, I knew I wasn't gonna make it. The people I invited, I told them, I was like, I'm probably not gonna make it. It's fine. I get 10 minutes of like time. That's all that I care about.
Yeah, but at the same time, you doing that in front of the booker and not going through is just as beneficial as going
Yes.
through, because that guy that goes through might get on the next show and suck a dick, metaphorically speaking.
Which, hey, I'm down for both.
Yeah, if he does it on stage and that's what's getting laugh and he's doing it literally, fucking awesome. That's a weird new thing for comedy. That's just a new realm.
Ooh,
Funny porn,
new lane.
dude.
Patreon.
Funny porn.
I got the
Funny
cameras
porn.
and I need money.
How amazing would it be to bust a nut and then also have a cheerful laugh instead of shame? That would be great. Do you know how healthy mentally I would be after that? Like, no,
I'm gonna be the
okay.
one recording it, so I'm just gonna be shameful the whole fucking
Did you say
time.
you want to be the one?
No,
recording?
I will be the one
Okay.
recording it.
I don't know if that's much better. Like,
No, it's not.
you just know it, but also you know it in so much in advance that you could also just be the person that delegates it to someone else. Yeah. Oh, dude, find your little assistant.
I know.
Yeah, we need to find.
I'm trying today.
Yeah, but you
This
said
one-
he was from Florida.
He's moving back here. That's why he's here.
Oh.
He's house hunting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that makes a whole lot more sense.
Yeah.
I thought we were just harboring some swamp rat fugitive in there. I'm kidding. You're a lovely person. I can't really see you except for out of the back image of the computer. It's like I'm checking mirrors, but you're a saint. You're a sweet boy.
Yeah, he's been hitting the computer for me. He's
Heyo.
good assistant.
He can text. I mean, he can type and spell.
Might be
There you
because you
go.
can't. But that brought me to another idea. Was there a specific one thing that got you to comedy?
Improv, which I
Okay.
hate.
You hate improv now?
I don't like to watch it.
It's tough.
I only did it because, well, like I told you, like I wanted to take a step, and I was like, how do you do that? I don't know. And so, like, Facebook has been helpful.
Yeah, it's crazy that that's the big avenue for comics. It's so weird that I'm now the biggest app that I'm on is Facebook.
Yeah.
It's so odd.
Well, an ad popped up just randomly because I guess I must have said something out loud about doing comedy, and it
they're
came
listening.
up and it was like, oh, there's a class for improv, and I was like, okay, I'm finally gonna like take the step, because like I had done stuff in my past that was like related to like, you know, acting and things like that, but like never
very cool.
specific comedy. But yeah, I was like, well, we got to take a step. We got to figure out how to do this. And so improv was the first thing. So I got into it, and it was like the first level. So there's like 6 levels or 7 or something like that. So I did a whole year at Stomping Ground, did their little training program.
Okay, yeah.
Learned a lot. Also realized I don't like improv, especially like that form. Like I'm not like, good for you if you can do it. Like there are really good improv players, and there are some that just should realize that you're not.
Improv just might make you better at other things in life.
Yes,
Yeah.
good for you. And I'm like all pro, you do you, whatever. But some people just aren't like the best at it.
Yeah.
I think I was okay, but it was not something I felt like, oh, I should stay in this.
Right.
But I learned a lot from what I needed it, and it really helped with getting into like the next step. And like Kinsey, because you've had her here
Right, yeah.
several times, she has been like a really big like fan of mine to like
Is
help
that where
me.
y'all met? Y'all met at Stomping Grounds together, or just in comedy in
No,
general?
That bitch threw me under the bus. We met.
Fuck you, Kenna.
Fuck you,
we
Kinsey.
love you, Kinsey.
Please come
We
back.
were on a drinking show like called like Pyramid Game or something, where like you had to ask questions. If you got it wrong, you had to take a drink.
Okay.
And so we did it the first time, and it was a really, really good time. So we did it together, and then we got invited back to do it together again. But this time, like we both had to like submit questions to the host or whatever. But they had to be like fun, interesting questions. So I couldn't think of anything. So like I just Googled like what's weird random questions to ask. So it was like stupid stuff. Hers was all based off of scuba. Do you know she does scuba diving?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I just remembered I've forgotten she did that, and that's how she met Miles. I think maybe.
Yeah, she's super interesting. She was telling us how she used to be like an archaeologist.
Yeah,
for-
she used to
in
have.
college.
She
Yeah.
majored in archaeology of
Yeah.
all fucking things.
Yeah.
She's weird as fuck.
Yeah, she's so fucking weird, but that's the best thing
know, I
for her.
love it.
Like, there's no other person that would just be walking down the street with blue hair and you're like, look at this fucking
Yeah.
chick, and then she's just an archaeologist.
Yeah,
or,
I scuba dive and look for
Scuba diving.
dinosaurs.
yeah, scuba dive, look
Comedy.
for dinosaurs, found arrowheads and stuff in Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Is what she said. Yeah, she said she went to Jerusalem, right?
I don't know.
She said a lot of
She-
things. That was a 2-hour long episode.
That was the
a
longest
lot.
episode we've had.
Yeah.
She does a lot of Adderall. I think you'll probably know that. So sometimes we don't know. But no, bless her heart. So like the 5 questions about scuba were directed towards me. I got all 5 of them. I didn't know shit. Do you even know what scuba stands for?
It stands for something?
Yeah.
It's not just a dumb name?
I thought it was just a dumb name. It's submersible underwater breathing apparatus. Okay, I didn't know that before. So all 5 questions were directed to me. I had to drink all of my drinks, which at the time was not a problem.
Self-contained
Oh, yeah,
underwater
that's it,
breathing
self-contained.
apparatus.
Is that what I said the first? I don't know.
You said something close.
Yeah.
I think you just forgot self-contained.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was one of the questions. It was the last question. Like, what does scuba
Yeah,
stand
fuck
for?
you,
And I was
Kinsey.
like,
God damn. I would have just been mad. You're like, what's that stand for? Fuck you is what it stands for, Kinsey, you bitch. God damn it.
so she's sitting in the back. It's Nick Hawk who was like asking the questions, and he's all like going through it. And I'm like, even as a comic, I was like, bitch, I can't think of anything funny about scuba. Like, nothing. I know nothing about it.
Scuba Steve, Big Daddy. That's
Scuba
about
Steve.
the only thing that comes to mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I knew nothing. I look like such an idiot. I'm like, well, I bombed.
Yeah, unless that's a scuba crowd for like a scuba-ing convention or something. Where the fuck was that going to go?
I was like, I got back there and was like, who the fuck submitted these questions? Because there was another person on the panel and she was like, it was me. I was like, what the fuck, dude? And I was like, why did you even do that? And she's like, I do scuba. And I'm like, you fucking bitch.
You're the only person in Texas that scuba dives.
I'm like,
Not the only one. They got Miles Francis too. So
Right?
Those
Yeah,
two can
the
just be
two-
weird and talk
Yeah,
about
the 2
scubaing all the
weirdest
time.
comedians I've met so far.
he's interesting too, but I don't, if he's scuba diving, then he's a mermaid because all that long hair, which I
He's
know
a
he just
scuba
cut it off.
teacher, which,
He's
like-
a scuba teacher?
Yeah, like I love him dearly, but if he was teaching me anything and I showed up and saw him, I'm like, I'm going to leave. Unless you're teaching me how to load my bowl. I don't fucking want what you're teaching. I've only ever had one good roast joke, and I'm pretty sure it was on Miles. But I said, if you give Miles a high five, you're gonna fail your drug test tomorrow. Like, oh god, I miss him. I haven't seen him in so long, man. I miss him.
Dude, he did a show in Denton yesterday, and I was gonna go see it, but it was just fucking
Oh,
not too late.
the graffiti pasta. Have you been there yet?
No, but I'm booked.
Oh, really?
hell
I'm
yeah.
When?
excited.
It is- I
gotta
got to
see.
go. While you're looking that up, I'll
I'm like, I actually don't know.
I'll vamp. But I just recently got to go. It is a fucking cool ass room
Really?
because it's the room underneath a pasta place or like a
Oh.
pizza place or whatever.
Oh
it is.
yeah.
But it almost has like basement vibes.
Yeah.
But there's seats all the way down on both sides, seats in the middle. It echoes so much because it's an all
Yeah.
concrete room. It is such a fucking weirdly perfect place.
I need to go because I would love there to be like a cool place in Denton for
I know,
like
it's-
comedy shows. They just don't have anywhere like the mic that Jacob does. Like, I would love that to be a great mic, but it's just like
It's the biggest problem with it is it's so late and on Sundays, so half the year it's not even good because it's all sports fans too. And as a sports fan, sports fans at comedy things are the fucking worst.
Yes.
I
they're not paying
wear
attention to you at
football
all.
jerseys on stage, and when I see a football jersey in the audience, I get pissed. Like,
Because you know they're not paying attention to you?
I know they're not paying attention to me, or there's like a 75% chance they're like, nope, not
Yep.
funny. Next one.
Yeah.
Nope. I've seen it all. I'm like, man, I thought you were me in 20 years.
Yeah. No, I get that. That's for okay, so like although I am gay, like not everything I talk about has to be like that or whatever, but like sometimes you go to do a show in front of an audience that is primarily like, oh, you know, like fuck the gays, like all that shit. Like sometimes you're just like, Jesus Christ. So I
Yeah.
do usually like open up with like, don't worry, gay, like straight people. I will say things that you will be able to understand. Like
Right.
you'll still be able to. So I try to like win them in, but like usually if I see somebody who's like that too, wearing a jersey, I'm just like, or a hat, like a cowboy hat or something.
Okay, so it's so
I'm
funny.
just like, oh,
the
they're not
show
gonna get this.
last night, there were 5 guys wearing hats at the start of the show. I'm like, those 5 guys are all problems because specifically they were all fedoras or along the same line, I think,
Love
but your
that.
like your bowler hat. Yeah.
Yeah.
They were all wearing that. I'm like, these guys aren't gonna laugh once because it's an older Granbury white crowd.
Oh.
And then the type of person I love more than anyone in the world, a fucking black cowboy walks in the room with a cowboy hat and he takes it off and he goes, "Sir?" And I go, "Oh!" I'm just talking to him the whole time. I'm like, I fucking love this guy. And honestly, his wife looked like the first Aunt Viv from Fresh Prince. She was fucking hot for like 65 years old. I've got a problem.
I was about to, what is your type?
It bounces back and forth between mean, bitchy, witchy-looking women and black women.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's not what I would have pegged you as.
Yeah. Blake, if you want to look up Shigo, I love that right now. But yeah.
She-goat?
Shigo from Kim
Shigo.
Possible.
Oh, my God. I haven't seen that show in forever.
Yeah. Yeah. It was kind of not Shibo. Shigo. Oh, they got it.
I'm starting to wonder about your spelling.
Yeah, dude. I thought Nate was bad before
I just
you.
go for it, you know. I
Just
figured
punch in letters.
it'll
You miss
figure
it
it out.
100%. But yeah, this one.
I still got it. Like, fuck off.
I mean, I say that. I can't spell.
I love the moments you actually find it to uncork it because you're angry as I am, and I know. I wait for it to pop.
I just take too much medication.
But no, this one is a weird one because this was when I had my first I like a cartoon that's not Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob for some reason, but it was specifically Shigo and Kim Possible. So in the same show, I watched every single episode of the show.
Shut up. And then so you fell like, okay.
Madly in love with both of them.
Okay. Well, I mean, there's a whole porn thing dedicated to just cartoon sex. I mean,
No, I'm
whatever
not
gets you
weird.
go-
Oh, really?
Do you have
Okay,
X?
I'm not that weird.
Do you have X on your phone?
I do have X on my phone.
Is it for regular Twitter or is it,
It's for a little bit of
Twitter?
both.
Porn.
Oh, so you
little
got to
bit of both.
separate the two. I have
Well, but it's-
professional and then I have that.
So it's not even for the horniness of the porn aspect. I just love it because X is the only place you can go to get leaked sex tapes of like famous people,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gonna watch any sex tape ever.
Oh, same. I'm here for all of them if I can.
I've seen probably way too many times, and I shouldn't bring it up, but I've seen Tommy Lee and Pam Anderson way too many times.
They are OGs. They're the Olive Garden of it all.
With the fucking Prince Albert too, and the huge cock. It's just a
Right?
fucking literal trouser snake. Oh my god.
Like, he was giving big dick energy way before we even knew what it was.
Tommy Lee is the reason most dudes have problems with their penis size. Like we
Yeah.
all saw that one video because we all wanted to see Pam Anderson or
Yeah.
Tommy Lee.
Well, At the time, it could have been both. I don't know.
He's like the
Okay,
worst.
so was it okay?
Oh,
I'm sorry,
no, I was
Blake,
just
to cut
kidding.
you off, but this is an avenue I want to go down now. When did you know?
Oh God, I was a little boy. I knew, like, I didn't know what it was because
Okay.
I didn't grow up with any gay people, so you can't
Right,
like
it's not
hug
much-
somebody and catch it. Like,
Yeah,
just saying. We didn't.
you're like me.
I shook your hand. That hand might be a little gay now. Be careful. And you know it is because you're gonna be home tonight, just like jerking it, being like, "You're right, he did touch it."
Yeah.
And now I'm touching him, and he's touched his dick. Let me tell you this though. Going over that, it's like straight guys are like, "Oh no, I would never touch a dick." Do you work out?
Yeah.
Do you go to the gym?
Okay, before we keep going into this, I am the worst example because I'm still on the very I'll with my friends, I'll slap their nuts and like, "Ha, what's up, buddy?" Like
That's a great way to meet guys. I should
yeah, I'm
start doing
bullying my
that.
friends still, but in a nice way because I grew up in locker rooms. I've
Ooh.
seen naked dudes since I was 11, and I know not to be weird about it
Uh-huh.
because like it was every single morning before school started or every single day after school I was around naked dudes all day. So like,
Damn. What did I do wrong?
you didn't play football, man.
My gay ass could not play sports.
Okay, but you just got to be like a mascot at that point or something, or the towel boy.
I-
I don't
get
know
me
if you like getting
started.
degraded at all, but
I mean, a
everyone
little
was
bit
mean to the towel
sometimes.
boy.
I'm into everything almost, like with reason, depending on the day.
I feel bad for him, but I definitely whipped a jock strap at a towel boy before, so that could have been something you liked if
Hey.
you like getting degraded a little bit.
Sometimes, it just depends.
As long
What
as
you're
they're
in the
there to
mood
back
for.
it up. You're
Yeah.
like, you degrade me, but also you can't just only neg me. You got to say something nice.
Yeah,
I want my
tell me I'm
compliment
pretty.
sandwich. Yeah.
A compliment sandwich. I said that.
I fucking
We're
knew
fucking twins. I did. When I used to work in management, that's what I would tell people. I would teach them a compliment sandwich. I would tell them something nice, tell them what they did wrong, and then tell them they were pretty. Like, I always made sure to wrap it up nicely. I'm so glad you said that exact word. Yes.
You guys have had 7 stepbrother moments
Yeah.
where you guys did we just become best friends?
Actually, I'm kind of glad because, like, this is my first podcast. Yay. But I love listening to
Oh,
them.
you're killing it. Like
And so I was like, I don't know you. And, like, well, I'd already fucked up because, like, the first time I was supposed to be here, I was just at a bar, drunk.
No, that was
Just-
so funny too because Kenzie's like, oh, I think I could see that Kenzie was wondering if I was gonna get upset, but it was so funny that I could hear very purely like that you were genuinely like, I fucked up. It wasn't just someone like, I'm fucked up at a bar right now, so I can't come. Click. Now I don't gotta go, so we can stay at the bar for longer. It wasn't like that. You actually felt bad, so it wasn't a huge deal at all.
Oh my god, yeah. And I was like, I don't need to like go. Like, first off, I shouldn't have been driving, but I'm like, I wasn't gonna come. Like, I was like trashed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to come all the way from Dallas on fucking 183 or 280, whatever it is. But
I'm already bad with directions, but yeah. So.
And apparently, there's another place that has this exact same address, like a town over. Because Peyton, Payne, and Taylor Weddington, when they came over, they just like went to Irving. They're like, I think we went to the wrong place. I'm like,
very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried about that myself. I was like, I'm very bad with directions. I try to always get somewhere like at least early because like the whole showbiz thing of like if you're on time, you're late. If you're whatever it is.
If you're 15 minutes early, you're on time.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so I try to be early.
You would have been perfect for the football locker room.
I know. Trust me.
Or, I mean, you could still do it. Just hop on some PEDs or something and get into wrestling.
Well, anyways, back to like touching dicks though.
It's a great segue.
Thank you. Is that I have noticed because I feel like we're never gonna tell one story Can you edit this so that way, like the stories that we started at the beginning of the hour, you can just like cut it and then like we go back to?
Those will probably be our money clips that go on Instagram.
Eventually, I'll do the right thing and tell Blake beforehand to just have up the notes section on the other half of the screen and just write down everything we don't finish talking about.
Right, so we can go back to Anyways, back to talking about touching dicks. Is that I've noticed like when I was going to the gym, it's been a while. As you could, never mind. Thanks. I'm hiding it under my rhinestones. Anyways, is that like I've noticed like guys will go to the gym, they'll go piss, they'll go shit, they won't wash their hands, and they immediately go and they grab a dumbbell or something, and I'm like, you didn't wash your hands, and now you touched that, and like everybody else has touched it, so you all have touched each other's dicks. Like I'm just saying,
100%. It's not even up to the dumbbell. Like. If you go anywhere where a dude has ever been, you've touched his dick.
Exactly. So like
I'm grabbing the door to Chipotle. I'm touching 40 different cocks.
Yes, at one time. Yeah. Like,
and then I lick it, but that's just for my own thing.
Of course.
I want to see how it tastes.
Exactly.
I feel like all the dicks put together would be nice. It'd be a
what we
subtle
call
blend of
tasting
flavor.
the rainbow.
Yes.
See, now you get it. Like
Skittles, sponsor us.
Yes. We'll taste all of them. Any new flavors you have, even those.
I will
Remember
do
when they had that
2 or 3
flavor that was
times.
white that you had to guess the flavor?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to do that again. But with guys, like I think that would be fun. You like you got to guess the nationality.
It's semen. I get it every time.
Yeah. No wonder it's white.
A little salty, a little bleachy. I know that.
Did you have pineapple? Y'all do the rule about pineapple, right? And asparagus?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Well, good. Just trying to help you in case, next time you jizz in somebody's mouth, they're like, is this asparagus?
Does the same thing happen with coffee? Because I've got asparagus and coffee pee.
I've been told by lesbians, yes, that like their vag. What can we say on this show? Anything?
Oh, you can say anything. He's
their
just
vagina can smell like coffee. Like my piss smells like coffee if I ever drink it.
That's what I was going to say. I was also just surprised that you were just using lesbians because, I figured you'd have experience from the gay guys.
I don't really like coffee, so I don't try to drink coffee.
You've never met anyone else that
No, I'm just kidding. Like, I don't know. If I'm tasting their dick, I'm like, is this espresso? And then I was like, yeah, why do you think I was black? Oh my God, like, you probably shouldn't do that. Please. See, that's one thing about comedy.
I would have thought it would have been brown.
Right? Sure enough. Latino.
Oh, so
gotta really
brown cows don't make chocolate milk? All right, okay.
Shocking. It's crazy that people actually think that.
Yeah. And also, why are there brown cows if they don't make the chocolate milk?
Thank you. That's kind of...
You just make them all black and white.
There you go. Well, see, even black and white cows just make white milk, so, like, shouldn't it make, like, I don't know. Let's move on. We're going to be here talking about cows. We might be here for a minute.
Transition to cow dicks.
It's fine. The start. My dad texted me after watching the Peyton Payne and Taylor episode, and apparently the first conversation we had was about we were just running with a bit about punching horses in the face. And my dad goes, "You had a conversation about punching horses in the face and then watching monkeys see magic for the first time. That's the most stoner conversation I've ever heard."
Wait, monkeys watching magic?
Have you ever seen this before?
I don't think so. Is
Blake,
it on
pull it
Instagram?
up.
Oh my God, yes,
It's
I love
all
a good
over the
visual
place.
reference.
It is the greatest thing because they react like no other. It is exactly we as comics should want monkeys in our audience. They're like they're just sitting there.
So surprised.
They're fucking like it's like a sporting event that he gets.
Is it like watching raccoons like play with bubbles? Like they don't know. Oh, have you ever seen raccoons like look at like what is it? Shit.
Cotton candy.
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Yes.
Glad my extension of my brain over here is there. Thank you.
My whole TikTok is just weird animal videos at this point. Okay, so right now we're watching an orangutan watch magic, and he looks unimpressed at the moment, but he's watching. He's a good audience member.
He is. He's
Oh.
like, okay. Ah. Oh my God, yes. We should do open mic nights at zoos.
We should just quit comedy and become zoologists.
I mean,
Did Zookeeper not look like the greatest movie of all time with Kevin James?
I don't like Kevin James.
Oh, why? Did he do something bad first?
He's Kevin James.
Okay.
That's it. I tried to watch. It's probably because I tried to watch King of Queens, and I don't know if it was like maybe.
Tried to?
Oh no! I'm sorry.
Oh,
I didn't
see,
like
okay,
it.
when
And
I
I think
said
it's because of old girl. What's her name?
you don't like Leah Remini?
I did on Saved by the Bell. Whenever they had that
She
weird
was on
season.
Saved by the Bell?
Yes.
Pull it up. I need to see that. Oh God.
Her and Zach were together. It was a weird season. They were like older, like.
Oh, like the college years?
No, not yet. Tiffany Amber Thiessen. She took some time off. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, I
They had to
think I
bring
know
in
what you're
some
talking about,
people.
yeah.
Saved by the Bell.
They were
Leah Remini.
They were on a. They were doing some kind of like summer job.
Oh.
She was
Oh
there.
yeah, I remember that season.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
see?
they went to
Yeah.
they all moved to fucking
Fuck,
some island.
that was Leah
You're welcome.
Remini.
'Cause I'm
Holy
old.
shit.
I grew up watching Saved by the Bell. Reruns, not the actual. I'm
Yeah.
not that old. I'm not going to say the age. I've aged out of gayness, so I'm over
Aged out
30.
of gayness.
Yeah.
Is it like that old John Mulaney bit where at a certain point you just become a 60-year-old queen? You're like, I
Yep.
just want to sit here and feed my birds.
Yep, that's it. That's us. You go from 29, you're young, you're fresh, you're everything. You hit 30, you're old. You're dead. You should be just put to sleep. Like, why are you even still here? Like,
That's so funny because despite
are
age,
horrible.
lesbians, they just find love and that's when they turn it off. Like 2 weeks after they find love and move in with each other.
and what I don't understand is why U-Haul really hasn't tapped into this. Like, it is the #1 joke of lesbians. Like, what did you do on your first date? We got a U-Haul. We moved in together. Like,
Exactly. No one would be pressed by that. No one would be upset with Subarus taking over
Thank
and
you.
actually just bringing it up
right.
instead of just saying every word other than Eggshell walking around saying the word lesbian.
Like, we know they love Subarus.
Yeah.
They're the best.
Everyone talks about it. Every lesbian comic I've ever seen talks about her lesbaru, specifically that word
Yes.
too. Like they all use the same thing. Just know your audience. They're
Right?
not going to get upset.
Or why don't lesbians have their own company for moving? Like, if I was, I'm not organized enough. And that's why, like, I'm not. Let's just be honest. I could really get things done in my life. But once again, we're just going to keep coming back to this subject. I am just lazy.
I see, and I was sitting here thinking about like it'd be a U-Haul and like catcher's mitt club or fucking.
Yeah, something like, and then their uniform would just be like a tight white shirt, some cargo shorts, tennis shoes, and socks up to here and up to their ankles.
It'd be like
Hats.
UPS men, but
But butch. Like a good butch
And
lesbian.
they'd all look like this is going to be a fucking poll, but they all would look like the lady that voiced Naruto on Naruto. Like if you will look up the lady that did her voice, you probably don't seem like much of an anime guy.
No. You gathered that.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I don't. There's not a whole lot of correlation between gays and anime, but there is with black people in anime, which is surprising.
Shocking.
Yeah.
I'm going to assume you're probably not into drag racing. And I mean that RuPaul's drag racing, not like.
I had a great time watching it when we went to S4 with my friend, like I was telling
yeah,
you earlier.
uh-huh.
There was before the ball had dropped, there was a drag show planned up to where the end of it was the ball dropping, and that was awesome. They were just fucking killing it. One lady she had maybe the greatest voice ever. Is it she or he at that point? Because
Lord,
with
things
drag
have
queens,
changed so much. Oh my God, I love her.
yeah, she was also on iCarly, I think.
yeah,
She's in something right now I'm watching, but I can't think of. Oh, have you watched? Oh, okay. So there's this show on NBC, I think. It's called. Oh, fuck. It's with Gina Rodriguez. Dead to Me or.
not dead yet.
That. Yes, that is such a good show. She's in it. If you haven't watched it, it's a really good show. So like basically what happens is like this girl, like Gina Rodriguez's character goes back to work at this old paper she used to work for, like actual like newspaper.
Mhm.
And so they give her obituaries to have to write. And so like her superpower is that when she has to do an obituary, like the person who has died is like with her now as a spirit. So like nobody else sees this ghost, just
Okay.
her. And as soon as she gets done writing the whole obituary, whatever, they go away. But like every single episode like has a new person. It's always like a fun like guest star.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
Oh, it's like
so
it's like the Love Boat back in the 80s. That's
Kinda,
what,
yeah.
Yeah, that was their concept.
Did you ever watch Pushing Daisies?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say because that's almost kind of what that show was about. Is that the detective was able to wake up dead bodies for 30 minutes, and then he'd have to touch them, or else they'd stay alive forever and start doing something. Blakey, will you look it up? I haven't seen it in forever, but That's funny that's the premise, because I always thought that premise was super cool. Like just an innate amount of time you're allowed to talk to a dead person to finalize what happened,
Yeah.
and then they just kind of finally arrested.
Mm-hmm.
But that sound she you said she's a journalist, so she's stuck on obituaries.
Yeah.
Is that like a negative thing? Like you're just coming back, so you're green?
No, she wanted to do like more like big pieces and stuff like that, but like because the way I guess she left and all of that, like she came back and that's like, well, if you're gonna do this job, you get to do the stupidest thing nobody else wants to do.
Kind of like a punishment.
And so like the spirits kind of sort of help her out in the end, and like the only way she can actually talk to them is like she has to put in her earbuds because they're with her everywhere, like even in the worst moments like of her life. Like there's always a spirit just talking away and nobody else can see it, so what she does, it's pretty cool. And then there's another show about ghosts too called Ghost on CBS. I'm just pushing everybody today. They're welcome.
Oh, Ghost on CBS. That was the one with the couple original like Vine and TikTok stars.
I don't know.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well,
I didn't mean to-
it's actually a show from like the UK or something from the BBC. But
Okay.
they like inherit this place and they're gonna turn it into like a big old bed and breakfast. And then she like the main character, like she falls down the stairs, she dies for a little bit, and then she comes back to life. And then like suddenly she can see ghosts, but nobody else can see them. And so at this mansion, everybody who's died in the mansion, on the property, or anywhere near the property
lives there.
all live there. So you
That's
get to meet like
interesting.
all these cool like ghosts. And
and it's almost kind of like a period piece with each individual character.
Yes!
Oh, that's kind of cool.
because there's like somebody who's like from like Viking time, somebody from like the 70s, like she died from a bear attack. Oh, it's like right there. Yeah. Somebody died from like
Oh yeah.
that. It's a really good show.
Okay, so that's actually who I was talking about. Is the lead guy was a
him.
Vine star,
Oh, I didn't know that.
I think, or
That's
it was
the-
either Vine or early TikTok.
That's the dude from Wolf of Wall Street,
Oh
Rugrat.
yeah. he
Vine
was in
was
something else.
so cool and then just disappeared. Like what happened?
Instagram bought it, I think.
Yeah, that's what it was. Instagram
Oh.
bought it out and then got rid of it so they could do that kind of thing with Instagram.
Yeah, you know how you hit that
Oh.
little search icon on Instagram and then you're just flipping through all the
Yeah.
reels? They bought that. That's yeah.
Oh, well, thank you,
Kinda-
Vine.
Kind of around the time that they started doing stories, right?
Yeah, something
There was a huge change in Instagram at some point, and it was right after Vine died and TikTok. Because TikTok used to be something else, musically, as what it used to
Oh.
be, and it used to be all like music based, but in short time cut sections. And then it like TikTok bought it out, and now it's just for whatever the fuck you use TikTok for.
See, I suck at technology because I have a TikTok. I don't use it. And everybody's like, you should be posting videos. I'm lazy. Once again.
If it weren't for this podcast, I would never post like any comedy shit
Mhm.
with it, because I don't want to sit there and really like. I hate the video that everyone posts on TikTok talking from their car.
Mhm.
That looks too underdone and underdressed up to post on
Yeah.
TikTok, and I don't want to put my stand up on there. And
That's been the issue for me. Is like everybody's like, well, you need to put up videos of you doing stand up, and I'm like, if I do that, then I feel like I don't want to do those jokes anymore. And like right now, like when I first started, I was like, why are these comics that I see, like, why are we still doing the same 5 minutes? I'm like, I
Yeah.
get it. Like, I understand now a little bit more because it's like, okay, you've literally been working on that. I understand. I get it.
yeah,
And so I don't want to give away all of my stuff yet until it's time to move
if
on.
you. The thing I figured out best is since you do crowd work a little bit, if
Mhm.
you start recording all your sets and then get the crowd work pieces, and that's what you
That's a
posted,
good idea.
it also does a lot better on TikTok for some reason rather than like scripted jokes.
Gotcha.
You
So-
know, Kirsty, she does like those little skits, and so she's not really doing material, but she's doing the funny
Yeah,
skits.
she'll actually write up a little skit, and
Yeah.
they're all pretty good, and for nothing on her, but simple in the right term of it. It's a simple premise that she comes up with, and then just does like the little cuts that TikTok kind of sort of does for you when you stop recording it.
Mhm.
She just sets all that up, and she does really well on those.
Yeah.
I've been really like. Not stalking, but for lack of a better word, stalking her page to see what happens to her videos, because she's one of the few people I've seen on TikTok that's actually getting traction through comedy.
Oh. And who is
Uh,
this again? Kirsty?
Kirsty Hayden
Kirsty,
she works at Addison Improv.
I probably know her and just don't know it.
She was on an episode a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, she's
I know a lot of faces sometimes and I forget. I'm very bad with names. Like you can tell me your name instantly and I'm like, ah.
she's
So bad.
she is a part of I think she's a waiter. She might.
Oh, I've seen her around.
Maybe.
Yeah, no, I've seen her around. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it was. She just opened all weekend for Andrew Santino when he came through Addison.
Oh.
So yeah, she's their go-to person right now, and she's really fucking kicking ass.
I want to be back on that stage. I love the improv.
It's so nice. And I also love that they don't fucking take away the brick wall from you. Like
Yeah.
the Arlington Improv, when you go for the mic,
Mhm.
they drop the screen down to not give you the brick wall. I'm like, you don't have to do all that, man. I understand, but like if you post a clip with the brick wall in the back from an open mic, everyone's gonna be able to know.
Yeah.
Like you know it's an open mic or if it's a show, especially at Arlington when it seats 350 people. It's a
Yeah.
huge fucking room.
I haven't been there yet, but I hope to.
It's a great place, but it's tough because you got to get there at like 5 now to
Mhm.
get a good spot, and it starts at 6:30 or 7. And a lot of these people are just getting there as soon as they fucking can, and then leaving, and then coming right back.
Mhm.
But if you get out there, it's a great room. It's one of the best open mic spots to hit still.
Yeah, gotta
But
get
it's
back out there.
also very nice because it is one of very few black rooms that we have. So it's a very different audience to work with.
Oh, good.
So like it's fun for me because instead of hitting a bunch of mics every single day like I used to, like when I started, I was probably hitting 13 mics a week.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I
Straight up
had
dedication.
that, and I just had nothing to do. Like
Mhm.
when I moved back from college, all my friends had either moved out or we had stopped talking, kind of thing.
Mhm.
So it was either that or I'd get really, really fucking good at Xbox again. Like it was so I had to do comedy, and now I don't have the ability to pay for that gas anymore. I don't have the time or want to go sit with all that time to drive out and sit there for 5 minutes to go to the next place to sit there for 2 hours for 5 minutes and then this, that, and the other. So now I started like, I'll hit every different kind of scene that I can. Like I'll
Mhm.
start off Mondays are at 1851 because that's a gay crowd and it's
Are
a
they doing
Monday
open
crowd.
mic there?
Yeah, yeah.
See my people, I didn't even know.
It's a really fun one, and it's one of the few open mics where you still actually get 10 minutes.
Ooh.
If it's a shorter list. If it's a big list, you go back to 5. But that's just how that rolls. But that one's nice because it's a gay crowd, and it's also you get used to working with a lighter crowd
Mhm.
because it's a Monday night. And then I'll go hit Graffiti Pasta in Denton on some Tuesdays, or I'll go hit Arlington Improv. And then you get the nice full crowd effect from going to DCC on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of hit the roster and find which ones, like, who was it? Oh, it was, thanks, buddy. David J. Diaz was the one that told me, like, okay, you're at a point where you need to start hitting quality over quantity.
Well, and it also helps too that you have the podcast. I mean, you don't like work a lot of material, but editing as much as I do and seeing your acts, I know that you are working some bits whenever you do this.
Yeah, I'll work some bits and figure out what are bits and what are just stories. Like I've talked about it before, but at one point when I was in high school or back from college or something, I got dunked on by Des Bryant, which was a Cowboys wide receiver.
Okay.
And he was just randomly at the gym that I went to. It was a shit gym, but he just walked in and got in for free because he was a celebrity. And for way
Lucky.
too long, I tried to talk and make a joke out of how Des Bryant dunked on me. And up until the point where I said Des Bryant put his dick in my mouth, all hypothetically,
Mhm.
that was funny. And then after that, they got what they wanted, and I wasn't done with the story.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, it's just a fucking story. It's a story for 5 more years until I have a different experience that changes how I look at that
Yeah.
story. It's for anyone watching, comedy's a weird fucking thing. You'll spend 5 months on
is.
one topic, give up, and then 3 months later you have the ending for it without even
Oh
trying.
my god, that's when it comes to comedy, I hate the fact that like the ending part has to be so good, and it's like I still keep trying, like whatever
I
it
hate
is.
that this
I'm
joke
like,
has to be good.
like this one has to it's got to kill, it's got to end good, and it's like I've tried variations of like the one joke that I've been telling like since the beginning, and it's really really hard to like
Yeah.
come up with a really good strong ending, and like because you have to have that so people remember you.
Mm-hmm.
I feel, and that's hard sometimes. So
I've gotten to a point where at the start I was really bad at timing out 5 minutes.
mm-hmm.
So I would tell a lot of longer stories, and then I would have my one-liner that I would use at the end that always does well, which is just as dumb as I realize that understanding how to please a woman is a lot like understanding Japanese. I don't. And that's how I close out a show, because that's enough time for me to go grab the mic stand, put the mic back in, and then it's done.
Yeah.
And I can just get out and get quick, but I need to get better about, like, I need the story to end when I'm done.
Yeah.
I just need to fucking push my shit back. But what's something you've been, like, struggling with recently? Like you said, you've been working on one a bunch of different ways. Like, do you have different avenues to go about writing something differently after you've given up on your first way?
I do, but writing is not really my thing.
So are you like a driving and then you're talking to yourself kind of guy?
Yes,
That's
a
exactly
lot
what I
of it. I have a
So,
lot of
cuz-
videos, and a lot of videos of me going, okay, joke, 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 but you need to say this, joke, joke, joke. Okay, and like I would literally say the words joke, joke, joke. Like come up with something here, but this is the other part of it. Like I
I've
do
done
that all the
just
time.
shoehorn in fucking space to like I'll come back to that, but I've got
Yeah.
the punchline already. Now I got to write it
Yes.
backwards.
Yeah, because there was a situation that just happened to me last week that for life actually gets to work because I have a show on Saturday, the Hope Show
Very
at
cool.
Dallas Comedy Club. It's to help support Hope charity, something like that. For
Okay.
I don't know that it. All I know is a Hope charity. It really does help the LGBT community. I just don't know all the information about it. So
For a good cause.
yeah, it's for a good cause. So if you come out, the tickets, all that money goes to the LGBT community for Hope charities.
Blake, could we have you clip that up and get that sent to him so we can
Yeah.
use that
Yeah,
for some
yeah, yeah.
Oh,
promotion?
then
Yeah.
here, let me do it correctly. I
Yeah.
actually have the
we'll
information.
do it again at the end,
Yeah.
like at the very end, so we
Yeah.
can plug up your
That-
socials and
cool.
everything.
That's
and
what
get
we've
that.
been we started doing.
Oh,
We
awesome,
started
thank you.
cutting clips for you guys so you can
Yeah.
post them.
So I mean, we get to shoot an episode 4 times a month, really, just how our schedules line up. I mean,
Mhm.
now it's opened up a lot more with your not doing your job anymore, but
But yeah,
we
I
have to
don't
stock
write.
eventually.
Yeah, I don't like to write. I hate writing.
Yeah, I mean, like every joke that I've sat down to write comes out sounding hacky and Seinfeldian.
Yep.
It's like you can hear the formularity in my writing.
Yeah.
And then I just get way too fucking high and go stand in the shower for 45 minutes. And the lack of oxygen just like, this is either great or I'm a fucking idiot, but I don't know. I gotta write it down.
Okay, so you bring that up, but like I find myself like when I'm showering, if I'm not like in my like if I'm just whatever, just showering, that's when I have like the most amount of like creativity,
So,
and I don't know why.
do you listen to music in the shower?
Sometimes, but not all the time.
Okay. Every time I've had a joke that ends up really working, there's always been music on in the background because something about music really loud actually gets me to turn off. Like I can
I get
sit
that,
back
yeah.
in my own head and actually like get what I'm trying to say out.
Mhm.
I don't know what about the literal lack of absence of noise is what gets the thought going, but what is that? Silence is
Yeah.
deafening.
Mine is driving. I drive at like night at like 2:00 in the morning. That's
Yeah.
whenever I write is at like 2 or
Oh,
3 in the morning.
Then you were probably sitting there right with me when we were talking to Lawrence about ghosting that one part of the highway. You have to know that highway.
Oh yeah, yeah,
With 377 into Denton,
yeah. I do the back roads and Ponder and Justin and all that.
Oh, dude, that's so fucking fun. When we were talking about it on an episode with Lawrence Rosales, which was really awesome, that when I was in high school, I had a nicer car that me and my parents had worked hard to get. And when I was real stressed, I was kind of an insomniac back
Mhm.
then. So I had to, sneak my car out, which was a problem because it was kind of loud. And then I'd just go to this one stretch of highway where there were no lights. I'd turn off my lights and I'd just go 95 at the middle of the night.
Ooh, I love that.
Windows all the way down. It was even though it was so loud just because of all the wind and the music and shit like that, it was the most calm I ever was.
I feel that. One of my favorite things to do is just go driving around, turn down, like roll down the windows, let the air come in, just listen
Yeah.
to music blaring.
Yeah, especially now that I don't have a truck anymore, it's so nice to do that again.
Oh, you have a car?
yeah.
Oh, I seen it outside. I think
Yeah.
so.
Well, that one was Blake's, but
Oh.
yeah. I had to get a car, and I've been loving my drives. Like that or the back home from a comedy show. If you don't do terrible,
Oh yeah, that feeling. Oh,
if I don't
Yes.
do terrible, if I just do decent on up, I get to go back, and the drive back is perfect. It's
yes.
every song that just comes up happens to be a banger. I don't have to line it up. Oh my god.
the
Okay.
euphoria. I get it.
Blake, I don't know if we can actually show this one, but it's on America's Got Talent, so we might be able to show it on YouTube. But I have found this one contestant who is my new A, love of my life, and B, maybe new favorite musician.
She black.
Yes. Her name is Liv Warfield, I think. I'm saying all this, but Blake is not at the computer to type it in. Josh, our little intern buddy pal, can you type in Liv Warfield on AGT? That should pull up.
I love. This.
Wait, is your name not Josh? John, fuck me. I'm so sorry. I'm going to say Josh a couple more times too, but that's not on you. It's just because I'm a fucking idiot. Yeah, Live space Warfield. It's spelled exactly how it sounds, and then just type in AGT. She has maybe the best voice I've ever fucking heard. It's got she comes up to like the music is like old school swing style like band music.
Ooh, That's different.
Oh man, she was amazing. Oh, Jesus Christ, morning television.
I could never do that job.
Right at an hour 34? Okay, that's kind of perfect. We'll watch this video, and then while Kristopher is plugging up his stuff, I can finally take a pee break. I have a fucking old lady's bladder. I think this is the right one. Yep, the golden buzzer from Simon Cowell, too. I think I did a little background research on her, too, and I'm pretty sure she was a backup singer for Prince back in the day on tour.
No
and
shit.
that was her start, and now she's on AGT. Blake, can we speed it up just a little bit? She's a lovely lady, but I'd rather hear her music. Is it a moment of silence? What the fuck?
If this was comedy, they'd be like, "You're really eating into your time."
Your laughs per minute are dog shit. Okay.
She said,
Oh shit.
And this is why she said, "No, I'll start when I want to start." Okay.
She's such a badass, dude.
She is giving attitude. I love it. She got a big old dick. You could tell.
Mm-hmm.
She's
like-
confident.
I'm gonna suck it if she tells me to.
Have to tell me twice.
Yeah, I think I'm figuring out I'm just a bitch. Like, in all honesty, if I just have a classy lady that tells me what to do, I'll do it. I don't give a shit.
Not
Suck my
expecting
dick.
that.
She reminds me of Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was just about to say she's serving cunt because I've had a lady tell me that recently.
Cunt, yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that expression.
The gays, we say it all the time. Oh my. Does she go forward in the competition?
Yo, yeah, she got a golden buzzer immediately. I think.
I don't watch this show. I used to be hooked up to American Idol, like the OG
Oh yeah.
seasons.
Yeah.
Like if I ever meet Kelly Clarkson or Carrie Underwood, any of them, they owe me money because I was a legit like voter. Like whenever they'd be like, "You can call
Yeah, you call
1-877
in, yeah.
Idol at 1."
Yeah.
Like,
Remember?
and I didn't have like redial on the phone.
Yeah.
I had to manually do it.
Yeah, Chris Daughtry, Taylor Hicks, all those guys. That
How-
was back when they were great.
How Taylor Hicks won, I'll never know.
Yeah.
And where is he now? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Nobody
The
does.
same thing with that one dude. I only know his name because it's such a dumb fucking name, but his name is literally Philip Phillips.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He won one of them. Fuck, have a better stage name,
Yeah.
dum dum. Like
Yeah.
you get to change it.
Josh
So-
Phillips.
Oh,
Philip Phillipson.
was it Philip Phillipson?
No, it was Philip Phillips, but I mean, change it. Philip Phillipson. I don't
Or
know.
anything else. There was another dude that was a big part of the town that I grew up in, and his name was Adam Adams. I was like, do your parents fucking hate you? Like, what the fuck?
They were just like, "What do you think we should name him, Mr. Adams?" Adam?
Adam?
Like, how high
Fuck,
were you?
I'm tired, man. We
Right?
got 8 kids. We're running out of names. Fuck.
It's like boy named Sue. Like,
Pick
just
one.
fuck it.
So let me run out of the room to run to the restroom. But as soon as I clear the cameras, Kristopher, if you will go up and plug all of your socials and plug
course.
some shows for Blake to get sent to you so you can promote that, that'll be perfect.
I'm down for that. Like, let me pull out my calendar. Oh, let me pull out the one so I can tell you about the Hope Charities. I just got the email yesterday. Which one's my camera? That one? Where did it go so I know what to talk about? We literally talked for an hour and a half about absolutely nothing. We got stories started, nothing ended.
Oh, this is a great episode, though. These
Where
are my
did it
favorite
go?
kinds of episodes.
I was worried. I was like, I don't know him. I don't know what to talk about. Those are the only things that I get nervous about is like
Yeah.
small talk with people because there's so many things about this industry I could just cut out. Networking would be one. I hate it because I don't like small talk.
Yeah.
It feels weird. Let me clear my throat. Before I choked to death over here trying to do it. Okay. All right. So let's see. When is it? Dallas Hope Charity. Okay, it's that camera there.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So I do have some shows coming up. So I have one this Saturday at Dallas Comedy Club. It starts at 5 o'clock, and it is for the Dallas Hope Charities, which is a local nonprofit that aids the LGBT community, especially the youth. We want you to come out. All of the tickets, all the sales and everything go to the LGBT Hope Foundation. So just a way to give back if you want to this Pride Month. If you don't want to submit and do that, that's fine. You can come to another show of mine. I got plenty of those. Let's see. On the 22nd, you can come find me in Denton. I will be at the Pasta. What's the name of it?
Graffiti Pasta.
Yes, Graffiti Pasta. Sorry, it's a new place, so I can't wait to go.
When you
I
say
love
the
pasta.
22nd?
Yeah, the 22nd. It starts at 10 o'clock. There will be everything on my socials, so you can follow me at Kristopher Comedy on Instagram, and it's spelled with a K, so it's Kristopher.
I'll have to come to that because I live in Denton.
Oh, you do? Okay,
Yeah,
good. Yeah, I will. It's on my calendar. I just don't know exactly the times. Like once again, like things get things get to the calendar,
Yeah.
but then they'll just be like show and Denton, but it doesn't
Yeah.
say who.
Who,
Yeah,
what,
that
where, or
and-
why.
Every show now just gets pushed back or canceled or moved to a different date or becomes a different thing.
I got lucky that the Mavs got to go to playoffs because there was a show I was going to do, which I knew I was doing it, but I thought it was on a different day. Like, I apparently just am bad at scheduling my own self. I shouldn't be telling people. You know what? Let's not even talk about that. They'll listen to this, and they'll be like, I'm never booking him for nothing he doesn't even know.
To be honest, I don't think anyone but me or my parents has made it this far into an episode before, so I think we're good.
Yeah. Well, for I'm like, that's what I was saying to him. I was like, for a whole hour and a half, we've barely gotten anything, like, finished. Like, we just brought, hey, whatever. I'm good for it. Like, I
Yeah,
love
people
it.
are. We should have called this podcast "Scratch and Sniff." Like that's, we never make it past any.
The
we could
Scratch and
not.
Sniff District.
Yeah. At the original start of this is supposed to be a podcast about what made you this way and how we get it better and like what brought you around in life.
That was supposed to be a baseball podcast.
Yeah, fuck me.
Oh, was it really?
No.
Oh, I was about to
No,
say.
it was just like the first 4 guests to come through was like, I don't know anything about baseball, and I hadn't brought up baseball. I'm like, bat's just in the name. You've never been called a dingbat?
Oh, yeah, plenty of times.
So apparently, it's just a white trash thing. Like,
Oh, yeah. Well, I used to get called crazy a lot whenever I was younger. That's how I knew I was funny. I would say things, people would laugh, and they'd be like, you're so crazy. I'd be like, okay.
see, I always got stupid, and for a long time, I didn't know that was a good thing. I'm like, man, why is everyone so mean to
Right?
me?
You're so stupid. Like, yeah,
I thought I was doing good at this dinner party. Darn it.
Everybody thinks I'm dumb. They were laughing at me. They're laughing at me because I'm dumb.
Oh, man. This has been such a fun episode. But if y'all go ahead and follow me on Instagram at pbailey_comedy and follow the Instagram page for the podcast at Dingbat District Pod, check those for any shows coming up. I know I've got one, but at this point, I don't know when this is coming out. So we'll figure it out. But thank you so much for watching. Bye.
Bye.
Cool.